chat too? No, he's still.
I'm back.
He'll be frantically trying to figure out how to get his stream back going.
I am back. But I don't have a stream anymore.
Yeah,
no, right.
Your stream's dropped.
I'll let you take your time to sort that out.
Yeah, I will be one
but just take a look
folks.
here at our solos. So we've already seen from semi-final 1, Coelho went through over Farming Alex. We've got our first finalist there. Modern Logging, Methy Boy and Kigarino. We're waiting to get the results through on that. I will change because I can see it being typed and I don't want to give anything away. Go back to a bit of a between. Here we go. G. Take a look back here because I didn't get a chance to have a look at what was happening there. But shaping up for one more match here to pick the final finalist for our solo series for Logging League season number 2. Action was too exciting for FSG's stream. Absolutely was.
It fell apart.
It was fizzing, but
I'm back.
Mr. Sinstar, the results determined by time. Yeah, I can hear.
Good.
I can hear you. Yep.
Good.
Let me know once your stream's back up and going.
It is back up on a different one, but
there we go. If you've come over to my stream and you're looking for FSG, he's had to create a new one. Completely died on him. Mr. Sinstar, the results determined by time and value of the logs. Correct. So we have a 10 minutes time, and at the end of the day, how much logs you sell is what YouTube, you earn.
Yeah, FSG.
And if you go over 10 minutes, there's penalties applied at, I think it's $100 per second. So 120 seconds, 2 minutes will give a $12,000 penalty, which we saw in the first match earlier on with Farming Alex pretty much hitting that $12,000 or that 120 second. Anything over the 120 seconds or 2 minutes, you are disqualified. So it was a change from last season. Last season, season 1, we used the container mechanic that was included with Silver and Forest. But this is certainly, and I hope you all agree, I think using the trailers and logging has certainly loaded up and brought a whole new dynamic to Logging League. And I, for one, think it was quite a big improvement.
it has. It's brought more. It's brought more. I guess kind of randomness to it, hasn't it? Which has been nice. You could almost kind of predict. You could almost kind of predict in some circumstances what was going to happen. So no, I think this has been good.
Yeah, right.
I'm kind of good to go here. I think I'm just updating things like my thumbnail. Right. So if anybody comes back to the channel, they don't wonder what the hell's going on.
Bull's gap.
Big H is saying it was deliberate to get extra likes.
I probably lost half my audience. That's fine.
I'm back in.
We're here for the fun of it, aren't we?
That's right.
Here for the fun.
Are you allowed to load directly after skipping? Yes, exactly. You can, Dral. We have seen that happening. Coelho tried to pioneer that using the Hannibal. If you saw the first match today, and if you stay around and watch the final for the solos, you might see that again. But yeah, he tried that early on in the first couple of rounds, and with mixed success. We haven't really seen anyone try and do it with the tree processing unit, though. Again, some of the way the logs fall and then trying to get them aligned, you're actually using up more time than you would if you just cut them and drop them on the ground. The teams is different, of course, because you've got a dedicated person loading, so there's actually no advantage to doing it really in a teams match, unless you would, manage to get a whole lot cut down, and then while your loader's loading the last few, you try to throw a couple of logs on at the same time, but you might find trip over each other more than you'd expect. I'm just looking. I think we might be having a few equipment changes here. We've lost a truck. No, that was just a reflection because we've lost a player here for Barn isn't actually available, so we've only got DJ Bob and Jimmy Sims for this match. No, you haven't missed the results yet, Zavort. We're just waiting for FSG to be back in action fully. His stream had a little bit of a dropout, so we want to make sure that everyone is getting the results at the same time.
Right, I am back. I apologise. We're on here. Yeah, confirmed.
These things happen, mate.
People can see me. I don't know what happened there, which was weird because I could still chat to them in chat and tell them my stream had gone down, but so it wasn't an internet thing. I don't know what happened. Anyway, we're back. We're back. Welcome back, everybody.
Weird.
Sorry. Sorry.
No worries. Results from match number 2, Kigarino Modern Logging and Methy Boy. And I'll let you read those out if you'd like.
Okay, so turns out it wasn't as close as we thought it was going to be in the end there, because Kegarino absolutely smashed it to pieces with the number of logs he had on board. So it was coming in first place, 21,261 dollars worth of logs compared to 15. Litres compared to 15,000 for modern logging, and Methyboy coming in third place. But actually, wow, modern logging and Methyboy were very close on the amount of logs they had on their trailers there.
Yes, they were. It was very close between the two of them. But
it was,
like you say, Kegarino, with those longer logs just paid off for him. He didn't have as many logs to load, and he just got more water on the back of his trailer. So
indeed, he did.
Sure, over the moon with that result, and into the final for the solos.
He saved the best to last for sure. Yep.
So, yep, you don't win something in the first round. Leaves Jimmy Sim and DJ Bob. Now, Jimmy Sim is a teammate of Kegarino's in the Pinnacle Loggers, so he could actually make it 2 Pinnacle Loggers in the final. Let's see what happens here against DJ Bob.
And we're under starters orders. Mark's on the countdown already.
Yep.
This is the last semi-final, and we will have our third finalist, and we'll be ready to go after the team rounds, after the team semis, which will be coming up next.
Right. Indeed, and we're off and underway. Now, these two actually using identical equipment here to Komatsu harvesters, true processing units, and 2 of the Volvo front loaders with the grapple. But we're seeing a split strategy again. DJ Bob's going across the road. Jimmy Sim has gone straight into the closest tree. So be able to keep a little bit of an eye on this and see how they all go.
Jimmy straight in there. First tree out already. DJ
Bob's got around his tree, but does he have an issue with permissions? No, he had to unfold his equipment. There we go.
Yeah,
no, he's cutting. Right. Up and underway.
Right, let's see how these guys get on. Both playing. Oh, Bob doesn't play in a team, does he? He's just solo only. So
no, he's solo. So Bob was a new player halfway through season 1.
That's right.
He came in and he sort of took him a while to find his legs and get into it, but he's sort of been leaps and bounds in the series. And I think he qualified 3rd overall.
Yeah.
Solo, so really sort of.
Oh, he's had an excellent season. You're right.
Yes. Just quickly say hello to Jeremy Freeman, who's popped in the chat and said Argsy rules after being a member for 25 months.
Nice one, Jeremy. Now, interestingly, Bob has unloaded some of his logs on the road, which is an interesting tactic. Now, we do know these are going to sell point B again. Is that right, Args? To go check my map again.
I was just thinking the same thing. I was just going to check my map too.
Yes, back to the sell point we just saw Kegarino, Modern Logging, and Coelho and Methyboy go to. So we're going back to that sell point. And Jimmy Sim going for longer logs here as well. In fact, both of them are going for slightly longer logs here. Maybe they were watching Kegarino and have decided to follow him, or they may have already pre-planned that.
Well, it'll be interesting to see whether that tactic flows through into the Pinnacle Loggers approach in the teams matches. They get into the semi-final as well. Of course, being a bit further away, it is a longer drive, so it'll be interesting to see again what timing we have. But like we said in the first match, timing probably doesn't matter too much. It's how you finish compared to your competitor.
Yeah.
So if one of you waits until the last minute to leave, then you might as well wait the same amount of time. Three minutes through, we're still in the cutting phase. The guys are accumulating their logs, getting them cut down, trimmed to length, ready to be picked up. Both using the Volvo grapples, front loader there with the big log grab. Both gone for those very long length logs, probably matching the trailer. So Jim Sims is actually got into a point. He's gone to the other side of where he was, just selectively choosing trees.
I was going to say cherry picking the best trees. Got that luxury available to him.
It does. Interesting, because because we've been playing on different maps, a lot of the way map makers have been making some of the logging maps, you find the same size tree in the same areas, whereas this map does have a wider variance and variety in tree sizes across the map. So definitely some advantage to doing that. But
it's nice to be back here. It really is a lovely map, this, isn't it?
You do forget what it was like. This was sort of quite a, visually and graphically, was a huge step up for Giants, I think, and what they've done. So I think when we get the chance to talk a little bit about FS25, one of the biggest questions I have is, are they going to show logging the love I've shown here?
Yeah. No, it's good chat. I've got Coelho's cheerleaders in my chat as well. Good to have you here, guys. Nice to see you.
Nice. Yeah. Right, we are closing in on halfway through. Both of these players still cutting down trees, still getting logs on the ground, still getting the position. Now, interestingly, Jimmy's actually pulled his a little further out into some open space to pick up, whereas DJ Bob's are kind of a little bit more spread out, so when it comes to picking them up, he's going to have to go just that little bit further.
Yep. This is a monster tree Jimmy's got here.
Yeah. I wonder, will this be his last one? Because he's starting to have to drive further and further away to find it.
Yeah, possibly, and there's a lot here. And judging by the time they've got left, just rolled over the 5 minutes. So...
Yep, Bob's made the decision. He's on his feet, running to his loader.
So a bit of time now to load. I think, what was it Keg said? 3 minutes to load, 3 minutes to cut, 3 minutes to load. A little bit to drive, so he's slightly behind that, but... we shall see.
Yes, we will. Alright, so DJ Bob is in his loader but hasn't moved his truck. Jimmy's got his truck positioned where he wants it, but we could see a little bit of potential clash here. He's actually going to move his truck again.
Yeah. I wonder if he's just seen that he was going to... Yeah, Bob has to navigate around Jimmy's logs here if he wants to get out. Unless Jimmy loads these up quickly. Yeah.
It's squeezed past above next to the side-by-side by Jimmy's tree processor. Does.
No, I've never been a fan of these. I've never been a fan of these front loaders, but having seen Keg in the last round, and these guys now, be interesting.
Tell me, what is your favourite log loading device? I don't think we've discussed that.
We probably haven't. I think the high lift still still is my favourite. Let's say it's the most forgiving. The most forgiving. I think that's probably the reason I like it.
I think you're the high lift's biggest cheerleader, aren't you?
High lift's biggest fan.
Jimmy Sims is having a few issues.
I'm on a bit of a lag spike here. I don't know if you're having the same, Args.
Not right now. I did have one 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, Jimmy lost a load of logs there. They just tumbled out.
Yeah. He's going up. Fortunately, he's grabbing them not centered, so the logs, if they get a little bit tippy, because they're hanging out one way more than the other, make it a little bit hard. But he's got some picked up there. He's got the advantage of having his truck in a better position. Yeah, Bob does. But we are coming in on 2 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. We're just starting to get our first logs on the trucks. This is going to be I think this is going to be a bit of a tactical battle here of who goes first, who blinks.
Bob has got a substantial load there already in his front loader, though, so that could be interesting. You can get those in nice and neat. Could be in a good spot.
Yeah, he took the time to stack them and pick up a couple of extras, so goes with that one. Background, while Jimmy's equally going to have a decent load of logs. He can get these all picked up in one go. It's going to be pretty equal. You know, he has pretty much succeeded. Just one skinny little log there, and just watching the background, Bob's about to empty his in FSG.
Yep, he's just taking his time to try and make sure that he gets them all within the frame, and he's just about managed it. One hanging over the side, but it's not going to cause him too many issues. But that's a nice start to his load, that. And Jimmy's got a good load there as well, hasn't he? Wow, that's a nice pickup load.
He has. Yeah, he did fantastic with that one.
Jimmy's going.
Loader, he's into his truck. He's putting the pressure on Bob. Bob's going to see this, and he's now going to have to decide, do I take the time to pick these logs up and get them out of there, or do I just need to go?
And looking at his trailer, they are very... I would say they're much of a muchness, Args, so he could take the chance, or he could just go for an extra load. Oh, a minute and 10 seconds left. He's going to end up with penalties if he doesn't leave now anyway, I think. So...
yeah. So is the extra logs going to offset the penalties? Because... oh, he's almost going to tip that one over. But Jimmy's in the box seat at the moment, I think, because the chance of him taking a penalty is probably a whole lot lower. And Bob's given up. He's decided it's too hard to get this in. He's into his truck and he's off and moving. 43 seconds left.
I think they're both going to go over here, Args. Jimmy's just passing the play area for the last round, making it onto the road alongside the railway. So he's definitely not going to get there before the timer is up.
Bob is just coming down through about the same area. Yeah, I think you're right. Neither of them are going to cross the finish line before the 10-minute mark, so penalties are going to come into play. And I think Jimmy's played this quite well in the end. Pressure back on Bob. Kind of been a bit of a topsy-turvy match. You're saying pondies are worth a good amount more. He's talking about one of the tree types.
Ponderosas, probably.
Right. Which ones are they?
I don't know.
Darker wood,
one of the pines. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I'm crackling with your audio again, Args. I can't hear it, but it's coming through on the stream crackly. What did you do last time?
I left the Discord chat and went back in. I think. Isn't it funny though that we don't have any issues recording?
I know, right?
Lee Farms.
Jimmy Sim over. 50 seconds over the timer, so actually, I don't know where Bob is. He's got a minute to get down here.
The road now.
I see him. He will make it. Yeah, he's going to make it.
Brown ones, Kigarino's saying, so the darker brown, sort of straight ones.
There we go, a minute and 11 seconds as DJ Bob comes over. Now, just eyeballing these loads, there's not much in it. I think maybe the quality of Jimmy's logs is slightly better.
More fibre in his diet, you reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
Right. Jimmy's has been sold. He's out of the server. He's had enough. He does actually have a team match to go and get ready for. So
yeah,
DJ Bob sold there.
He's that confident. He's just jumped out and
left, vacated the server. Right. We'll wait for the news to come through. In that instance, I'm just going to jump out of the chat very quickly. That fixes it.
So that is us. We're gonna log into server number 2 now, and get organised for the team rounds. So I'm just gonna do that and hide that so that you can not see the magic that goes on in the background.
That's right. While we're doing that, I can see the results are there, so we will go through those. So, well, that's an interesting one. So Jimmy Sims sold $18,000 worth of logs versus DJ Bob with 9,000. So twice the amount of logs, or twice the value from Jimmy. So I think we're seeing those trees that Kigarino was just talking about being worth a whole lot more, because I would not have picked Jimmy to have twice the value as DJ Bob. And of course, Jimmy finishing soon took just under a $5,000 penalty to end up with $13,000. While DJ Bob had about a $7,000 penalty to end up with just on $2,000. So pretty much an $11,000 win there for Jimmy Sims, who is through to our finals. And like we said, 2 pinnacle loggers representing in the solos. So that's our teams chosen. Jimmy Sims will be facing off against Kigarino and Coelho to crown our Season 2 Logging League solo champion.
That is going to be an interesting final, isn't it? Again, over 2 rounds. That is a good lineup for the finals. Really good.
It is. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how the 2 rounds play out, actually, because it's a little bit different to what we've done before. But we decided to, obviously, if we didn't do that, we'd probably be in for a bit of a shorter stream. But equally, it gives us the opportunity to have a little bit of a slip up, or if something goes wrong, you've got your chance to kind of pull things back a little bit.
That's right. That's right. So,
did that fix my audio? Just out of curiosity. It sounds better now.
Args order sounds better now. Yeah. So, thank you, Args.
Right.
Right. So,
video Ninja or something like that.
Yeah, possibly. So, teams finals. First round is going to be Power Team Esports versus the Pinnacle Loggers. Power Team Esports have been, I would say, almost untouchable this season, haven't they, Args? They've been really solid in each round. So, it'll be interesting to see how they go tonight.
Yeah, they have they've really come to Logging League this season with a very strong every round. Like you say, they have been performing every round, and if I remember correctly, I think they are unbeaten, aren't they?
Yep. And of course,
worthy of the top qualifiers.
Pinnacle Loggers all kitted out in their Porsche Iron Man gear, as always.
Good to see.
So we're going to follow the same 4 play areas as we've just done on the other map for the team. Well, first 2 rounds, aren't we?
That's right. That's right. It was quite interesting. Just I was just looking at the team standings and where they ended up with. It was Power Team Esports, like we said, won every round. Modern Logging, they all played 5. Modern Logging won 3.
Yeah.
Runner-up in 2, obviously, and then Astragon and Pinnacle Logging were 2 wins apiece, second on 3 of their occasions. So, yeah, like you say, apart from Power Team Esports out the top and being a clearly dominant team across the round robins, the other 3 teams were all very, very close.
Yes, indeed they were. Yeah, no, it's been the competition this year has been fantastic. It's been really well balanced, I think, hasn't it?
Yeah. Just while we're here too, I'll just take the chance to just give Logmeisters a big shout out. They were unfortunately our 5th team. Well, fortunately they were our 5th team. It's great to have them as part of the competition, but unfortunately weren't able to participate just as the way the semi-finals have worked out. We can only fit 4 teams out of the 5 into that little window. So thank you to them for competing across the season. And look forward to welcoming them back in the future.
No, yeah, valiantly done, but and also very gracious not joining the finals as well. So,
yes,
right,
yeah, no, so a huge thank you to them. They were very understanding of our decision and supportive of that. So it's good.
They were indeed. So,
right, which course are we starting out on, FSG?
We are down at the first one that we were at near the shop in the town.
Gotcha. Found my way here. Right, I know the Astragon team always enjoy having a screenshot early on, so I'll come down and grab one of them. There we go. So here comes the train racing past. This train has been the source of much entertainment for Logging League over the last 2 seasons. It's great to see it back. On the flip side, I think we must have traffic turned off, do we? I haven't actually seen any cars on the road.
No, I haven't seen any cars on the road either, actually. So it's no bad thing. They've caused us some fun as well over the years, haven't they?
Absolutely, yeah. They certainly have.
So, we are just waiting for the guys to arrive. Oh, interesting. I think we might be at the wrong place here, because this is a Model Logging and Astragon hanging out here. So, are we in the wrong place?
I was just double checking. Team final 1 is stage 4.
So we are in the wrong place. That explains it. Right. Let us go somewhere else then. We will join those
Hamish
guys.
was here. So
that's what threw me. Yeah, I blame Hamish. Let's blame Hamish.
Yeah. Man's not here to defend himself.
Exactly. Right, here we go. Oh my goodness, you recognise this place, don't you?
This is the Super Chaos course.
This is the Super Chaos course from Round Series Season 1.
Hamish has felt very...
I can hear the evil laugh from here. Yeah.
Now, Power Team Esports up against the Pinnacle Loggers, and this is where we have seen, what I would almost say, other than the Hannibal, has been the biggest innovation this season, which is the use of a telehandler with the CSZ Pack log grapple.
That's right. Yeah, very clever, and again, seems to be able to load a good amount of logs very, very quickly. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they get on tonight, because they've been, like I said before, outstanding this year, haven't they, Args? They've been head and shoulders above everybody else.
They have. They're also the only team that uses the Rotney Harvester, so they've really gone for a completely different set of equipment to a lot of the other teams.
That's right.
We also see the Leverhair loader coming into its own here as well again. This is obviously the first time it's been used. It was a request, like we said, Kirino running that, so let's just see how that pans out and plays for the Pinnacle team.
Right, so we're just waiting for the Pinnacle Loggers to...
Everyone's here because, of course, the trucks, as we do with teams, the trucks actually start down at the sawmill. So we'll have the other two representatives for each of the representative each of the team will be down at the sawmill, and they will be driving here.
Interestingly, Noricam, the Power Team Esports, is showing up in every vehicle for me. I think that's just a glitch. They've not cloned him. It's still 3v3.
No, I can't see anything from my side, so just waiting for starters' orders. Hamish will be taking care of that because Mr. Haythornthwaite has started off and he is quickly building up our solo finals with all the correct equipment. We carry on here with the teams. A little bit of the background that goes on in that logging league. Yeah,
there is a lot going on in the background. The guys work super hard to make sure this runs as smooth as it can.
They earn themselves a glass of top quality H2O.
Yeah, they do. No expense spared. Scottish tap water for Hamish, at least.
That's the one. Right, here we go. Starters orders. Ready and waiting. Farmer Hamish is in control. He has the order ready to go.
And they are off.
He's obviously done it. Has he done it in voice chat? So we didn't even get a countdown. That was set go in voice chat, obviously. So Kigarino and Velo into the processing units, and respectively, and Oblix and Jimmy Sims over there start loading. So kind of a little bit of an anticlimactic start.
I know, but they're not hanging around here. And Keg, look at the speed difference. Keg is hunting down those big trees that he knows are worth the money. And to be fair, so are the Power Team Esports guys. They know where the money is. These guys,
yeah, that's right.
These guys are experts. So now, one of the challenges with this part of the map is that there is not a lot of space here, so they have to be courteous of each other, which they will be. We've seen that before many a time, but they're off to a fast start. Interestingly, Valo's dropped their first log onto the road.
I'm actually intrigued. I'm just going to take a look at the map and see what route the two trucks are coming. So they are going to come from downhill. Just looking at one truck is quite a way in front of the other, so they will come in from your direction, FSG.
Yep, they're going to come from behind me, aren't they?
Yep. In fact, Oblix has actually just pushed those logs. They're not in the way, but he's kind of lent them up against a tree. Whether he's going to use that.
I've seen them do this before, Args. Yeah, they use it as a backstop. I saw them do this in a number of the other rounds.
Yeah, that's actually worked out quite well.
It's a clever idea.
Sitting there, sitting there and easy to grab.
And here's Noricam from Power Team Esports arriving first. Now, we've said this before, haven't we, Args?
Trailer.
Yeah, double trailer. We've said this before, though. It doesn't almost matter that at what time your truck arrives, especially in the early part of the game, because you're almost not ready to load. His sharp now. Jimmy's really working this. As soon as Keg's finished a log, Jimmy Sim has picked it up and he's got it into the grapple straight away. So they're about to.
They haven't made it easy for themselves on the side of the road, on the side of the hill like that.
They have not, no. And Jimmy is struggling there. He hasn't got them central in the grab, and he's going to have some issues here if he's not careful.
That's right. There is a lot going on right at the moment. So we've seen Pinnacle guys grappling, loading, struggling over there. But Obelix has just pushed. How many logs does he have in that? 1, 2, 3. He's just pushed 5 logs. He kind of bulldozed them along and pushed them into the tree. And he picked those up super fast.
Yeah.
But he's actually at the weight limit. He was almost off the ground with his back wheels when he lifted those up. So wouldn't have actually been able to carry any more than he did.
A really good example there of that telehandle as well, Args. That rotation in the head there is so much more agile than the wheel loader. So he could really kind of tip those almost into the trailer. Although Jimmy Sims just dropped a really nice chunk of logs into their trailer as well. So they're not too far behind. And they're going for the longer logs as well, Args. I think they're going slightly longer than the Power Team Esports guys, so that could be the difference.
Could be.
This is going to be close.
I know we have some. It is. I'm excited about this one already. We're only 3.5 minutes into it. Now, the one difference with the sort of tandem trailer setup here is if your logs on the front trailer are sticking out too far, it can hamper the tuning on the back trailers.
Yeah.
Again, just keep an eye out on that. But Noricam's just pulled forward, and I think they've finished loading the front, and they're going to throw some on the back just for weight distribution. Not overload the front of the truck and put some on the back so that they can just keep a more stable load. That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. Jimmy's loaded another couple of nice long logs onto that. He's ahead of Keg now. Keg is there's a couple of trees they've left kind of higher up the hill, but they're working well. As both of these teams are working well together, aren't they?
Oh, it's impressive just looking at it, and I think Power Team Esports were in a similar spot where they were ahead of the game as well. Obelix didn't really have any logs to pick up. Valo's been forced to go for some of the different sort of pines, but this one is a big log pine.
Yeah,
it's just dropped on top of the truck. That's right, they are loaned and leased, and we'll return them scratched or whatever it is. They tend to end up in some water anyhow.
Yeah. Become a bit of tradition to drive it to the nearest source of water, hasn't it? It's actually using the side of Valo's harvester there to stack those up there, Obelix was.
Some pretty impressive communication if they're doing that deliberately. Oh, Jimmy Sim and Sharp Farmer just about tipping the truck over. Oh, that was
just about rescued that. Now, they do have a log hanging over the side here, but it shouldn't impact them too much. It's not a million miles off. Now, interesting, they're working their way down the valley here, Args. So they're just creeping ever so closer to the sell point.
I think it was more just a selective logging process, and they are just specifically targeting those tree types, and the speed that Kegarino can get from tree to tree, it makes it valid, makes it an option for them.
It does.
I don't want to do it with really any of the other cutters, but that thing is fair flying.
It is rapid. It is rapid.
Fair play to them for coming up with the tactic. There is, I do believe, the mod does come with a tracked version of the same excavator. It wouldn't move with the pace that it.
Yeah, no, it really wouldn't have. Then they've clearly done some testing. The Power Team Esports guys have just had a bit of an issue with some of their loading now, which has caused the odd problem. It's not the neatest load in the world. Now, remember a couple of rounds ago, Args, the Power Team Esports managed to fill completely the front and rear parts of their trailers, didn't they? It was the biggest load I think we'd seen completely at any point during Logging League, so...
And now it's impressive load of logs, and equally impressive this one so far. I've decided just to sort of stay in the same spot and keep the process running, whereas definitely seeing the pinnacle loggers have gone quite some way down the track here. Now, if I'm correct, we're heading to Cell Point A, which is the one directly opposite on the other side of the map.
That's correct.
So a little bit of road time, but gosh, this match, I feel like we should just about be at 10 minutes, but
it's gone on forever.
7 minutes done.
They've got so much done in such a little time. Yeah, it's now we're over 3 minutes. We've got 2 minutes and 40 seconds left, Args. So somebody is going to have to blink soon.
That's right. Just looking, Kikarino cut down another tree, but he managed to push it out of the way a little bit, making it harder for Jimmy to pick up. See whether he tries and grabs both of these, or they just decide to suck it up and head off.
Oh, Mr. Log here.
Of course, being so far away from each other, they won't actually know whether one or the other is gone. You might find that Power Team Esports is sitting up there thinking Pinnacle have left. Pinnacle won't know whether they've gone or not.
That's right.
Those two up. Kikarino, I think. Kikarino's off. He's just driving down the road. I don't know whether he's pathfinding for them to figure out the best route to go to. But Jimmy and Sharp are loading, and there's no more logs on the ground.
I think, right, Power Team Esports are out of here as well, Args. They are done. They're heading down the road. I'm going to follow them.
Right. Likewise down here, we're seeing the Pinnacle loggers are off as well. Now, they've left some logs in the middle of the road. I hope this isn't going to be an issue for Noricam. He's having to gingerly go around them.
He's managed to dodge them out of the way, though, that's fine.
Without any issues. Just hope Jimmy Sims is also in the way. Hopefully he doesn't block them.
Yeah, Jimmy is going to have to get out of the way here. Come on, Jimmy. Well done.
There you go, he's done that. Alright, let's have a look further along. And I can see 1 minute warning coming through. Sharp Farmer a little bit further along. With a little bit more lag here. Fun and games in a multiplayer server.
It's like a procession going down the road here. Oh, Noricam nearly losing it there as he turned onto the second bridge, but he's passing Kegarino now. They're going to be close, and we have 26 seconds left, so they're about to hit this crossroads, which is very clear to the finish line. So this is going to be touch and go. Just going to check up here and make sure there's no train coming, because that could throw a spanner in the works.
I was looking for the same, but cannot see it. But Sharp Farmer's going to get across. He's going to make it just on time. They have timed this to perfection. 2 seconds
look at
left.
that. 2 seconds left, and Noricam coming in. 3-4 seconds over. Oh, lovely tank slap. Look at that. Synchronized flipping of your trucks on the way over. Love it.
I didn't notice Sharp Farmer. Yeah. Now, of course, what's interesting, this is just the first match between these two. This does not decide who will win or lose. There'll be an advantage. One team will have an advantage, but there is still one more match left for them to have it. Whoever's needing to pull something out has the chance to do that. So it's not over and done for this one.
It is not. It is not indeed. So we're going to be...
Funny again.
I'm sorry. Hamish will document these scores. He won't share them now. Well, we might want to know who's winning after the first round.
I'd quite like to know. Yeah, I think we should be having a look.
Should be party to the results. What's the crackling? I think we have a bit of an issue for some reason. Saran, Argsy's mic doesn't play through the stream, but I can hear it fine. So it's a bit frustrating. So just let us know if it's happening, and we'll try and fix it.
I did just leave. So what I might try and do.
While these are getting sold
down on in the background. difference.
Yeah, it says they're saying it sounds better again now. So I don't know what it is.
I did leave again. And
Oh, I might have to do that
so
on and
change
off.
some other things. Yeah. Right. Let's see if we get a Hamish on where things are sitting after that first round.
Yeah, just keep us posted, folks. If it goes again, we know what to do now. Right. Yeah, we're going to go straight into round 2 with these guys. They don't get any time to rest.
No, of course. No, I'm calling that's for the final, not for the semis. This is a semi-final. It's a straight winner takes all.
Oh, of course it is. Yes, no, you're right. So this does count.
Yeah. Yeah.
Originally, we were going to play 2 for everyone, weren't we? So that's where that's what confused us. But we would have been here till 3 in the morning, so we decided against that.
I wouldn't be here till 3 in the morning.
That would be a long day for you. Okay.
It would be.
You want to do the honours, Args?
Wow, I will.
Oh my goodness!
There is, on the finish line, there was $1,600 between the two teams. Power Team Esports coming through with 36,769 and Pinnacle Loggers on 34,963. Power Team Esports taking that small penalty of about $600, but that was not enough to dislodge them from the top. So with $36,200, Power Team Esports are going through to the final against a very valiant Pinnacle Logging team with 34,963.
$1,200 difference.
FSG? Pinnacle Loggers had 2 logs. They struggled to get on at the end and drove off without them.
And that would have won. They would have won them.
They would have won that game comfortably, I think, if they got those 2 logs.
Wow.
That is how fine margins we're talking about here.
Like you said, Args, that was a game worthy of the final. That was fantastic. Fantastic.
The Pinnacle Loggers will be sighing, letting go a sigh of relief, knowing 2 of them are in this team's final, and that was 2 more matches. They're probably grateful they're not playing for final matches.
That's right. That's a lot of games to get through tonight, isn't it?
What a match though. It was impressive from both teams. And Pinnacle Loggers push Power Team Esports. They would have been our favourites going in. They were unbeaten, and they keep that unbeaten run.
Yeah, but they ran them very, very close.
Yeah, let's see if either of our other finalists, Astragon and Logging, whoever qualifies from these 2, whether they can go through and upset Astragon. No, Power Team Esports. Sorry. Astragon. Yeah. My head knows what it's trying to say. It's
yeah, it's okay, Ox.
Connection between brain and mouth.
It's early in the morning. We'll give you that one. Give you that one. Right, we are just waiting for the teams to organise here. Modern Logging is already here. Baumatsi and Calamaris from Astragon are already here. So are we just waiting for one more from Modern Logging, one more team member from Modern Logging to join us? And
I'm just curious. Faban is part of Modern Logging.
Of course he is. So are they going to be playing with 2 here?
He's not available. They might be playing with 2.
Yeah, what a shame.
Playing with just the 2, which yeah, it is a shame. They have done that a few times throughout the course of the season, and it hasn't really affected them. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens here.
That's right. It doesn't because of the time you've got to cut the logs down. Whoever would be grabbing logs can bring the truck down, so it doesn't have a huge impact really on the way you play.
No, not too significant.
Oh look, it's the first time I've seen the signs. Farming Simulator 25 available November the 12th. Pre-order now.
Isn't it interesting? I can see the Farming Simulator kids now available. Greetings from Zelonka on those 2 signs.
All right, I've got Grow Together, Harvest Together. Jobs at Giant Software.
Wow. So it is actually that random that it's
it is.
Not user specific, it's just the way they generate that.
And don't forget, if you're going to buy Farming Simulator 25, use Argsy's code.
use someone's partner code. That. Yeah, that's interesting. It's pretty clever technology, actually.
It is.
Too hard to do. Just the way they can update those dynamically.
It's clever. There goes the train. Right. Our final semi-final of the evening is about to go down.
We will know who is going up against Power Team Esports. Now, of course, we could end up with an all FSL league.
We absolutely could, couldn't we?
Can come through and claim it. And looks like we're going. Yes, we are. We're off. Farmer Hamish has given the orders in voice chat. Again, we missed out on the grand announcement, but we're in and moving. I'm logging off to go and cut some trees down.
Right, let's see how we get on here. Both heading for a similar area, which could cause a few challenges later on. I think look, Bauer's going to have a little... No, thought he was going to reverse out there and go somewhere else, but he's decided to stay in the vicinity. There's a good clump of trees behind him, though.
Yeah, there's less of a selection of the Hondies, as Kikarino called them.
That's right, yeah, there are a few further back here.
Yeah, a couple at the front side, but is it worth, are they worth that much more that you would go and hunt them down? I'm not sure. Interestingly, just initially here, Astragon are going for very short logs. I've cut these to a much shorter length and using the high lift, whereas modern logging is to much longer. So quite a difference right from the start between the two teams.
Interesting. Your mic's dipping, Args. I don't know if it's too far away from you or something.
I haven't moved anything. Nothing's changed. Bring it back up.
Right, modern logging onto a second log here. Now, interesting. It's interesting to see which trucks they've got. If they've got the Astragon guys are running the trailer, and they are, because here comes Major Milon.
Just coming to look at the same thing. They do have the dual trailer.
It's interesting. He rolls straight into place here. Here comes Farming Alex. They've gone for the traditional trailer here.
They do, and I've got the longer length logs, so that makes some sense as to that. Now, they will probably, I expect, to swap out tasks here because I've heard modern logging is a little bit of a whiz with his loading skills, as we saw earlier.
He is.
Let's see. They do or not.
Well, maybe Alex will get the machine into place first while modern logging keeps cutting, and then no, looks like they're going to swap. Modern logging just going to finish this log. No, he's not. He's going. Good call, Args. Well predicted.
There we go. Bit of team coordination going on.
Now look at this, mate.
Best players in their strongest position.
Look at Major Melon here. Calamaris has dropped the logs on, but he's using the small grapple on the back of the trailer just to tidy things up, so there isn't anything hanging over the sides there.
Something we've seen before, but I guess it gives the truck driver something to do while they're sitting there waiting.
That's right, yeah. There is a lot of downtime.
And Smoko. They no sleeper cabs on these trucks either, so they can't have a kip in the back.
That's right. Now, Y is asking in my... Zbort is asking, why is it 2v3? Unfortunately, Faban, who's the third member of Modern Logging, had to drop out at the last minute. So, Farming Alex and Modern Logging are just going to carry the team with just the two of them.
Which they've had to do a couple of times during the season, and it hasn't really disadvantaged them. They're still here in the semi-finals.
That's right.
They were our third place qualifier, if I remember our table correctly.
That's right, and with Modern Logging's loading skills, as you can see here, the speed that he can get stuff loaded up is pretty impressive. So he takes the time. Look at that; he's just realigning that.
Colby was the third man.
Right. Okay.
Apologies. Calling it for Barn, but it is Colby. Yeah. Thank you, Farmer Hamish. It's coming up on what, 4.5 minutes gone. Closer to the halfway point, and this is, I think this is anyone's match still at the moment. Modern Logging have got a good amount of logs there at that longer length loaded up, whereas the Astragon team are starting to load on the back trailer. In fact, Major Melon's actually picked a couple up with the grapple.
He has,
close enough.
yeah.
And he's using the loader on the...
He was just waiting as Calamaris dropped his off before he dropped his on. So yeah, great teamwork there. Once again, though, Modern Logging really working this trailer. The neatness of this load here is something else. People, Modern Logging getting a lot of love in the chat here. Everyone's like, I could watch this 24/7. Squatch Monkey saying those are some excavator skills. They really are. He's a real talent. 5-minute warning. So we are halfway through the round.
Major Melon's still trying to get the logs loaded on with the truck there. Not working quite how he wanted to, and he's at risk of getting in Calamaris' way, but no, he's going to go. I think they're looking at those as a bonus if you can get them loaded in. A bonus for them. But Calamaris is the main man tasked with getting the logs on the back of the trailer, and he's done that with some accuracy.
I'd like to see him driving along the road with that fully extended and them just hanging in the air.
Wow, entirely conceivable, isn't it? Alright, just ticked over 4 minutes remaining. These guys are just really efficiently going about their business. Calamaris got another load picked up there. They're actually struggling to keep up, struggling to keep up with how quickly Calamaris is getting the logs picked up.
Now they are going to sell point A that we've just been to as well, aren't they? They're not going to B because it's too close. So
that's right.
We know from last time it's probably a minute's drive. And they will have been aware of that from earlier rounds. So, like you said though, because it's a 2v2 to all intents and purposes, it's about who blinks first.
Just got a few distraught deer hanging around our area at the moment. They're quite comfortable with their habitat being taken away.
It's just pixels, Args. Just pixels. Tell yourself that if it makes you feel better.
Well, there's a few people in well, we could tell themselves that sometimes. But we won't get into that.
Right. I mean, this is a seriously cool load that Modern Logging has done here. I think this could be one of the most impressive... It is. I think this could be one of the biggest loads we've seen.
He's managed to... What he's managed to do is he'd cut a whole lot of logs, he's loaded them, and Farming Alex is actually struggling to keep up with them. He's managing to load them quicker than Alex to cut them down. There's a whole tree. He's just picked that up in one go, and... make me eat my words, but he's going to get that just sitting on top of that trailer. Even the finesse to pinch that grapple closed and give the logs a little bit of a nudge.
And with 2 minutes left, they are out of here, and that is a substantial load. I can't... This is going to be close, because the Astragon guys haven't been shabby either. They have got serious load on theirs as well, but... will these longer logs carry more volume? We shall see.
Yeah, Calamaris is having some issues turning at the moment. I don't know what's going on here.
Have they got the straps attached to the...
Not sure, and they sorted out now, I think. But he had to disconnect the trailer and reattach. These off and moving. Minute 15, he should get down there without any dramas.
Oh, I've seen that before with those. I think when the straps go on, if your logs are too long, you've talked about this before, Rogs, when the logs are too long, they can get caught. The straps catch the logs on the second trailer from the first trailer. So a minute to go. Farming Alex is going to be well within the time zone here. I think probably the Astragon guys are too. So this is going to be a straight...
not too far.
Oh. Alex had to do a little reverse there as the barrier dropped for the train. He's lost some of his advantage, but he will get over the finish line. He will get over the
Barrier
finish line.
in his way. Was he that far left?
Yeah, he was that far left, and it was on the turn, so it's a slightly angled barrier.
It's on the turn.
Yeah.
Lovely, very. She's seen that one that comes down on the turn. Look at that.
There you go. So Alex over the line
Right.
with plenty of
20
time to spare.
seconds left. Major Melon's taken the wide turning angle in, and he's going to get there as well with about 8 seconds remaining.
Well
Make our way
judged.
down there.
Very well judged.
Yeah.
Now this one's too close to call as well.
What a couple of cracking semi-finals.
Oh,
that's all I
haven't
can
they?
say.
Haven't they? This sets us up for a brilliant final. Right, call it, Args. What do you reckon?
Oh goodness! Don't do this to me. I have to just do a bit of a count. I'm on Astragon. I'm Team Astragon.
Interesting. I was going to go for model
I
logging.
just feel the extra person. I feel the extra person might have just paid off for them. But
I mean, fair play, regardless of the result. Fair play to modern logging for doing what they've just done with 2 people.
yeah, absolutely fair play to them for that. Right, a couple of logs didn't sell there.
Couple of stragglers. You want to drop out of audio again, Args? You're crackling again, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh, you've already spotted it.
Just do that, so. Yeah, I've got your stream up with your chat visitors. All right, there we go. Let's see. That's our semi-finals all done and dusted. In just a moment, we will know which team is going to be facing off against Power Team Esports for the chance to win the team's championship, become the champions of teams for season number 2. So we will find out in just a minute. Farmer Hamish has tallied up all the numbers. They made it a little bit hard for him selling the logs in 3 goes, but I'm sure he'll do the math and make sure it's all done correctly. But FSG, you've gone for modern logging. I've picked Astragon.
Either way, I think it's going to be close. Right, Hamish is typing in the chat here. Let's see what we have got. Oh, the suspense is killing me. The suspense is killing me.
All right, there you go. I'll let you call that one. I'm going to have a smug look on my face while you do it.
Wow. Okay, I would not have called that. Interesting. So, in second place with $25,184 dollars of logs is Modern Logging, and winning and making it an all farming simulator league final is Astragon Entertainment with $32,673 of logs. Well, what do you know? I would have hung my hat on the Modern Logging guys getting that, but I guess the shorter logs.
That was it.
Pay more.
All I can put it down. Either the shorter logs, or they got some of those better quality trees on the back.
That's
which
true
they
as
did.
Well.
But that was I wouldn't have picked them to have almost that's close to 50% more logs, isn't it?
It is.
It's a huge number of logs. But let's just take a second and compare now Astragon to Power Team Esports. If they were facing off, Power Team Esports would have had $1,000 more.
They would.
So
they would.
Can't look too much into that because different trees, different type of wood,
but
all of those kind of things come into play. But it's going to be tight. It's going to be an interesting.
It's going to be a very interesting final. I am properly looking forward to that. Properly looking forward.
I think we've got 5 minutes or so now, just sitting in between while they get the final built up. Got to get all the equipment put in now that we know Astragon. So once Hamish has told us we can log in, we'll do that. But
that's right. So
it's been fun. I've been enjoying these. Actually, they've been fiercely competitive semi-finals across all of them.
They've been great, haven't they? They really have. And it just goes to show, right, that the skill level now is getting really close. Everybody's practiced over a few rounds. Everybody takes time in between each of the rounds and does we know for a fact that Pinnacle loggers, as an example, do hours and hours of training in between. In between. So, yeah, there are no losers here. Everybody deserves a place in this final for sure.
Yeah, that's right. No, they were definitely all there on merit, and the semi-finals have displayed that. It's been very fiercely fought and some very close and competitive matches.
Yes, indeed.
Closing has been great to see. Great to see.
So, as as we log in, we're going to just take 5 minutes to sort some servers and stuff like that and get the final set up. So probably a good opportunity to talk about the last week, Args. What's been happening in the last week in the world of Farm Sim?
I don't know. Not much, really. It's been a quiet year for Farm Sim. I mean, it took 6 months for them to gear up. But yeah, it has been a pretty whirlwind 10 days, really, hasn't it? From dropping the little teaser about the color change of the logo, revealing a premiere, having a few things leaked, which was, that was pretty disgusting, really, in my opinion. Pretty low life thing to do. There's no one
to the leakers.
Advantage out of that. Exactly. And then a pretty. I'm gonna get lambasted for saying you're a Giants partner, so you're just fanboying and brown nosing to them. But I think they did a great job with all the information released so far. And I for one, I'm looking forward to it. And we've been critical. We were pretty critical of the farm production pack when it came out and everything like that. So as much as you might say you're a partner, so you have to be kind to them, we'll be critical where we have to. And I think they've done a good job. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. All we want to see is progress, right? That's what it is. We know they're not going to have they don't have the size of the team to be able to recreate the game in a different game engine or all that. And even if they did that, they would destroy the modding community, because you're basically asking every modder to retrain in a completely different piece of software, and would probably make most of them not come back to modding. So there's reasons for doing, commercial reasons for doing it, but equally, we just haven't seen enough. I don't think we've seen enough yet, Args, to be able to make a solid decision on how much better it is going to be. It's going to have taken a step forward, because it has. But it's just how much. So we'll wait and see. So I think there's been, you do see a lot of negativity, and it's usually from the people who don't play Farm Sim very often. They're the ones that played it for 2 weeks at the start of FS22, and they've come back because the new game's been announced. I think the stalwarts, the players that the people who are watching us tonight, and the people who've been playing it for the last 3 years, are probably better versed to make the call on whether or not it's going to be better. And generally, the mood from those players has been broadly positive, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Absolutely, certainly has. And the other things, I think you might have pointed it out in one of your videos. Screenshots and that, they might be from a 6-month-old version of the game. And actually, I was watching a German stream on Cornhub, and Chucky was on that, and I it's quite difficult to watch a stream that has automatically generated English subtitles. But one of the things he commented on was everyone has a different vision around a thumbnail too. So the equipment guys who are doing, say, showing off the tractor and something like that, the thumbnail they want, or the screenshot, that they want to have, is different to someone who's working on the engine and wants to say, let's show our fog and God rays and those kind of things that are coming through in the light. So you're getting different things being shown in different screenshots and different builds of the game that they've done it in. So
that's right.
Don't take that as the end version.
That's right. Yeah, and again, you can be very sweeping and generalist with your comments as well. People are like, all we've got is rice. It could have just been a DLC. I mean, the reality is there's a whole engine overhaul in the background, which the majority of people don't kind of understand. So, it frustrates me. I try and kind of drift over some of the comments, but it's basically, I think, most of the time ill-informed, or it's the classic internet, isn't it? It gives everybody a voice.
Classic,
unfortunately, some people's voices should be probably a little bit more thought through before they open their mouths. But there we go.
People are quicker to complain than compliment as well.
Correct. Yeah.
When was the last time anyone did this? Is the last time you bought something and gave a review of it, regardless of what it is? When do you review it? But the second it doesn't work, you'll be on the phone or email or whatever complaining. So that's right. It's just a society thing. It's a human nature thing.
Nature of the beast. You're right. What is it? You're 7 times more likely to complain than you are to say something positive. So you're right. So
that's right. You're looking good today, FSG.
Am I? Well, what a nice thing to say.
Just being positive and complimenting.
Thank you very much. I expect seven criticisms when we record Echo Farm in the morning now.
Yeah, right. I'm sure I'll find something. Tim, g'day Tim. He's telling us to get a room. We've got one. We're in it. You've come in the door.
Yeah, it's a virtual room, and you are you
is.
are joining us. El Papito's in the chat. Nice to see you, buddy. How are you? Samu as well in the chat. Even though he couldn't join us tonight, he's managed to make it along to watch the stream. So good to see you, Samu.
Nice to see you, mate. It would have been great to have you here, but fully appreciate that things don't work out all the time.
Keg's asking the nice question, what kind of logging map would you like to see in FS25?
That's a very good question, because they did Silver Run so well. Like, what could they bring that's different in a logging map? I'd like to see them somehow, and let's not jump the gun around ground deformation, but a logging map with some mining or something like that.
Yep.
Actually make the mining, like, they brought the iron ore in, but didn't really do anything, did it? It wasn't a big challenge to do that, but actually something with maybe more of that kind of heavy industry type.
Yeah.
Rather than just
no, I like the idea of that. Kegs is saying something with something less hilly. Samu's saying more hills and better winches.
More hills. It could be a broader mix, couldn't it? One thing I think with Silver Run is it didn't give a huge amount of, somebody wanted to clear the land and build farms. There's not a huge amount of sort of farmland as such.
No, there isn't. And I suppose with the hills,
fields,
it limits that a bit as well, doesn't it?
That's right. Right. I was going to ask a question before. What's your FarmCon next weekend? This time next week, I think we were saying before we started, it'll be Saturday night, and FarmCon day one will be over and done and dusted. What are you looking forward to the most? Apart from seeing
it depends what they show, right? But I definitely think if they're going to show us some gameplay and the map and some of the vehicles and stuff like that, that's great. I hope there's a session on the game engine improvements. That's what really kind of, for me, we'll get brilliant tractors and we'll get brilliant maps from the modders, but what's the engine going to give them that allows them to really kind of flex their muscles?
Yeah,
from a creative perspective. So I'd love to see that. Something on that. That'd be exciting. What about yourself?
I think I'm much the same. I think, what did they confirm, that we'll see the North American map? So it'll be interesting to see how that is going to shape up. Look, I'm still hopeful that we're going to see a map and they're going to go straight out and say it's a 4X. That's what I'm.
Yeah.
That would be a sort of a mic drop moment for me if they came out and said that.
Yep, I agree.
But I guess time will tell.
I hope there's something, whether it's a 4X map or something similar that we've not seen before, that you go, wow, that is properly different to what we've seen. I think FS22 up from 19 was a lot more of the same. But it just improved ever so, lots of little improvements across the way. But general, it was just a general improvement across the board. I would love them to do something like a proper, like you say, a mic drop moment, a wow moment. That they go, okay, they've really done something radically different there, and it's impressive. And I think probably 4X maps would probably stop a lot of the naysayers, because it would. I
think so too.
Kind of suggest that they are thinking bigger than just rinse and repeat the same game, which I don't believe they do anymore.
No, I don't think they do either. But yeah, I think that would be, just finding out those bits and pieces in the background, what's been going on, what's in, like, I think if you think back to FS22 release, like their big things were things like occlusion mapping and occlusion culling, and some of those kind of improvements, the 3D textures and that sort of thing. So I'm hoping just to see more of, maybe gameplay. The construction missions intrigue me, particularly that image they released of the grain elevator, and
the old elevator,
in your video about that. Is that something actually you can't use it till you've repaired it? What's the story with that?
Yeah,
those kind of things. I think
elements like that would be really nice, wouldn't they? And I'm if you want to, you can just kind of skip that mission if you wanted and just build it. But if people want to kind of add the bits to it to create, recreate it before you can use it, I think would be a nice little touch.
Yeah, no, that would be good. Again, though, if that is the case, and you couldn't use a sell point because it was damaged or something like that, then you'd want to make it so it was unlockable without having to do it.
Yeah.
If it was a gameplay feature, you wouldn't want to have it where it turns around and say, well, this elevator gives you 1.5 times everywhere else, but you've got to build it first.
That would be a nice touch, actually, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Mm.
So we'll see. I'd like to see improvements to the AI, in-game AI. You would hope they would have been able to develop that a little bit over the last 3 years as well. They said they were going to. They said it was a step, didn't they?
Yeah, that's something we talked about the other day. I think you and I, just when we were chatting about things, was the growth of just AI in general. When you look at ChatGPT and Bing and all that, the growth in AI in the computing industry as a whole has been just astronomical over the last 3 years. You'd hope that there's some way that Giants can leverage that same tech on a basic system where they can use that in game. I don't know.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, and we've got to remember as well, Giants have got a bigger team now than they had 3 years ago. They've got that whole Czech office, the whole Czech development office now, which they didn't have before, or was just getting set up last time. So hopefully they've had more people on it, and obviously the success of 22 as well, and the more copies they sold means they could hire the team and expand the team and things like that. So, hopefully we're going to see the fruits of that labour now. We'll see.
Yeah, we will. We will. Now, if you're just tuning in and wondering what's happening, we're just getting the maps built up for the finals. So obviously we didn't know which teams were going to be in the two finals until the very last second, really, with that last semi-final. So Farmer Hamish and Mark Haythornthwaite are frantically working in the background in the servers, getting all the equipment in position based on who the two teams are or the solo players are. So we're just filling time, really.
We're filling time, but luckily enough, we've got loads to talk about.
We do. It's nice of Giants to do that.
So what did you think about those 5 images, Args, the US map that appeared slightly later than everything else last week? We actually saw them for the first time when we were on our stream with Mr. Sealy P, and we were all too nervous to show them because we didn't know if it was another leak or if they were legit. So we had to double check. But Args, your audio's gone again.
Audio's gone again.
But I for one, it's interesting. I've had a couple of had a couple of grumpy people in my comments going, "It looks the same as FS22," and I'm like, I don't understand how you could possibly say that those images look the same as a screenshot from 22. There is a lot more detail in, and there's a lot of people saying that they're doctored images. There's a lot of retouching on them, and it won't look like that. So, So
is that better audio now?
Is that better, Saran? Are we good again?
But you're 100% right, and this goes back to that comment about the thumbnails. The guys showing off the equipment. Yeah, there's only so much you can do to make a tractor look different, isn't there?
Yeah.
Between games.
Yeah. And it was interesting. There was a couple of modders who'd put in my live, actually, when I was live, that they were really impressed with the shadows. They were saying that's a huge improvement, and I think that that holds more sway with me. If a modder's sitting looking at an image and going, "Oh wow, I can see how that's changed," the subtleties that maybe we as players miss. But if a modder's seeing that and going, "That looks radically different to what we're dealing with at the moment," you kind of know that that's a positive.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's definitely one of those things, and it's great to see a lot of modders actually have come out and said some of those podders. I know there was a few that sort of said, it's not a change, I'm just going to stick with 22. Well, unfortunately, I think history will show us that they'll become irrelevant pretty quickly, because who can tell me the last FS19 mod they downloaded after 22 released?
Yeah. Yeah, and Giants stop accepting mods very quickly after the new game comes out, don't they? So
they do, yeah. Don't even look at them.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying, I've got farmer boys in the chat here saying real life farmers in the other fields would be nice, wouldn't it? But wondered if that would impact slot count. That's an interesting console question. Actually kicking myself for not asking Mr. Sealy P this the other day. Do we think we'll see another expansion of slot count? Do you think they'll optimize the game well enough to give an extra load of slots to console players?
I think they will.
Just because they don't have to support.
Well, no, because the new gen consoles had bigger slot counts.
Had more anyway, didn't they?
Yeah. So it was different anyhow. But look, I mean, they're gonna have to. I mean, they'll already have both Microsoft and Sony. They'll have an agreement with what space they can use.
Yeah.
In the game anyhow, so they'll already know what that's going to be. But
and it depends on other things as well. If they've decided to go for 4x maps, they're going to have to expand the amount of space for them as well, aren't they?
So if anyone on a PC, if you have a look at your size of your save files and there's like shape files, because as soon as you start modifying a map and using terrain editing or sculpting or anything like that, it creates a separate shape file for the map because that information is kept in there.
Yep.
So just go have a look at how big your save files are on a single player on a PC, and then think, well, console has to allow 20 slots for that to be able to do it. I mean, is 20 slots too many for save games?
Yeah.
Does anyone have 20 save games at one time that they don't get rid of? I mean, in PC, it's good because you can archive and back one up, but console, you can't.
That's right. Yeah, so
who knows? Matsy jumped into my chat.
Did he?
Good to see you, mate. And look forward to seeing you in the final very soon.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hopefully we'll see both Power Team Esports and Astragon at FarmCon as well.
Yeah, I did see Velo asked in your chat if we're both going to be there, and yes, we will both be at FarmCon this year.
We will
next
indeed.
Weekend, indeed.
Very much.
And of course, they will be an FSL round of the FSL on the afternoon. So
there is.
No doubt we'll see you guys there too.
Yep.
I was going to just say because Giants they haven't actually posted anything about it yet, but both Chucky and Kermit said they were going to have a pre-FarmCon stream sometime this week coming.
That's right.
To show off some information for people who can't make it to FarmCon. So again, going to be interesting to see what's going to be shown on that. What new information we might get.
That's right. They've been good actually about keeping the pace of the information flowing. Now they've announced it. So no, I think that's a good call from them to let people who can't make it to FarmCon see some stuff, which is good.
Yeah. Oh, Matsy's not going to be there. It's a shame. Yes, and that's what we talked about with Mr. CLP the other day, is actually this time around, while they might have, kept people hanging for a lot longer with the trailer release, the trailer releases come with so much information and FarmCon knocking on the door, whereas for 22, the trailer came out and we were kind of a little bit quiet.
That's right. Yeah, it was a long wait then, wasn't it, on other information.
Yeah.
That's right.
So,
we're also going to try, aren't we, Args? We've not... We've got to check things like technical capabilities and things like that. But our aim really is to maybe do a stream Saturday afternoon, early evening on Saturday after the first day to talk through some of the stuff we see on the day as well. So
that's right. Yep.
Stay tuned. For that.
Hopefully we can. I know we've got some space has been lined up for us. It's just checking whether the connections and internet's going to work for it or not.
That's right. Right, we are still waiting for the chaps to give us the green light to flip back over. I'm actually looking at the screen now. I can see Jimmy Sim, Keg, and Coelho all sitting here waiting as well, and their machinery is already here. So
I think for some reason I was thinking I couldn't log in because they were having to build it offline and then upload it. But of course they can do it in the server. So
they can. Oh, you're not logged in.
Sorry, we can't start. Argsy's not here yet.
Okay. Stop everything. Got to wait for Args. FSG, what I was wondering is LSFM mods with the new engine be able to keep what they have done already or start again? They would probably have to start again. Now, obviously the model is built and things like that, but there'll be an improvement to the textures and things like that, so they'll have to kind of do an update. So they won't have to start from scratch, but they will have to kind of go through it. And Giants have said they're going to try and help the process a little bit more with a little bit more documentation and things like that going forward. And they've released a book, haven't they, about modding and things like that. So I think there's going to be more information. And now the thing is how long it takes them to release Giants engine. And that was a challenge with FS22, wasn't it? It was about 3 or 4 months after the game.
Yeah. It was the editor came out at the same time as the game, but there was no information about it.
No documentation.
So figure out how to do it on the fly.
That's right.
I think that was the biggest thing. Because I think if you think back, I mean, I'm just trying to think like No Man's Land came out really early. I think it was out by Christmas because we did our multiplayer on that first. Greystone from Large H Mapping was one of the first maps.
That's right.
As well that came out around Christmas. So it was only a month or 2 months until we started seeing some of those maps come through. But I was just thinking about it, and actually when you said about that book having been released, you're not going to release a book about, like, actually go to the effort of publishing a book about modding less than a year before your next game comes out, if it's then going to be irrelevant in a year, are you?
Correct.
So you'd be safe to assume that a lot of that information and a lot of the modding procedures, methodologies, techniques that are used now are going to be the same going forward.
And to be honest, the principles for 19 to 22 weren't drastically different, were they? It was...
No, I think the audio engine was the biggest one, wasn't it?
Yeah. A little bit of texture tweaking and things like that, but in general, I think 17 to 19 was a huge change and did require kind of rebuild of mods from the ground up, or certainly a lot more complex. But yeah, I kind of think it will just be evolution, not revolution.
Yeah, that's right.
So we shall see.
All right. We do have Keeks, Jimmy, and Coelho sitting here ready to go. We can start now. I'm in.
We could just do a splinter start. We just start it ourselves without telling the guys what's going on.
Oh, could you imagine? No, I'm just looking at the map. I can see the second solo looks like it is all set up and ready to go.
Yeah, Samish as well.
Looks like, so we can't be too far away from being ready, I think.
Samish has arrived.
4 trucks down there, doesn't look like it. All right, I might jump back into my match screen.
Yeah.
We also haven't said as well if FSG is doing something. Of course, Thrustmaster have been on board for the whole season as well. So
they have indeed. They have indeed.
Still, we just need to on your shoulders, but there will be some prizes for the winners to be confirmed. But hopefully a farm stick each.
Hopefully a farm stick each. Yes, that's correct.
And under deliver, but.
That's what I've spoken to my contact at Thrustmaster about, is supplying a farm stick for each player, each finalist or winner.
Finalist or winner?
Winner. Beg your pardon.
Winner.
Yes.
Winner. Chicken dinner.
Winner. Chicken dinner. Oh, Loki's just arrived in. Evening all. I'm just back from a beer festival. That sounds tremendous. Right, we are, I think, very close to kicking things off here. Hamish is floating around.
He's not in the control room with Mark anymore. He must be in the Teams chat.
So
the teams and players.
A bit of coaching ahead of the start.
Yeah.
Mark Simpson in my chat saying...
It's a game of two halves.
It is indeed. Mark Simpson in my chat saying FS25 has loads of potential, especially after dropping older consoles. And you're right. I think it's a good point, isn't it? Much as we want everybody to be able to play Farm Sim, there has to be a point at which the older generation stuff does have to kind of fall by the wayside, just because it's going to limit development. So,
yeah, it's just progress, right?
It is. Unfortunately, it's the way it is. But at the same time, we will hopefully see quite a bigger leap from 22 to 25 than we saw from 19 to 22.
All right.
We're just letting the teams join in as well. They can sit in the background and wait. As soon as they're in,
we'll be ready to go.
We'll be raring to go.
This is it. This is the 2-match final for the solos. So, of course, if you've been with us the whole 2 hours so far, you would have seen the semi-finals for the solos. We've ended up with Jimmy Sims, Kegarino, and Coelho representing there for themselves, really. They're not in teams, of course, though. We do have 2 from Kegarino and Jimmy Sims, part of Pinnacle Login, who had a close fought semi-final, but did just tip out right at the end.
They did indeed.
Though, but if the semi-finals are anything to go by so far, FSG, we're in for a couple of cracking matches.
I really think we are. I really think we are, yeah. Everybody's been on their A game tonight.
This is the most diverse range of equipment we've seen. We've got 3 different tree cutters, harvesters, processing units.
Yep. And a couple of front loaders and a high lift.
Proper mix of things.
Proper mix of things. And an interesting location as well, Args, in terms of it's pretty sparse for trees around this area. So,
yeah, that's right.
Knowing Kegs with his speedy with his speedy machine, he may disappear off somewhere completely different.
I'm just looking down sort of where we had the chaos course down here on the right. You could actually scoot along in front of the train tracks and come down in here and sort of have a bit of space to yourself.
Yeah.
To be right here.
Yeah, there's a few big trees over here actually, by the lake.
Hmm.
Yeah, interesting. All right.
Will be. And of course, as we talked about earlier, right, we're into starters orders, but it is a 2-leg final, so
that's right.
This does not determine who will win this match, but it will certainly, someone will come out with an advantage, and it'll be interesting to see how it changes things. But we're off. We're started. Finals are on.
Coelho firing up the Hannibal, and he's first out of the blocks here. Pegarino's gone to his truck first.
He has. I think that means he's going to go quite some distance away.
Yeah.
He's driving down exactly where I said he'd go. Well, Jimmy and Coelho are heading in the same direction. I just read Owen's comment in your chat, FSG. Owen, you obviously didn't play FS19 because 22 was a leaps and bounds.
It was.
Multiplayer synchronization.
Yeah, Kegs is thinking outside the box here. He's brought his truck over to this rather more densely populated wooded area. And the benefit of having that faster wheel-driven harvester. But he's we're already at 8 minutes 50 left, and Kegs has not cut a tree down, and he's not even close to cutting a tree down yet.
Yeah. Jimmy Sims has actually driven a long way up the hill as well. He's gone quite some distance again. They're doing that selective harvesting that they've tried in their matches so far. I don't think we've seen this done at all. This is the first time we've really seen a focus of attention by one of the teams or any of the players on a specific type of tree.
Yeah,
I suppose previously we've... Yeah. I was going to say previously we've been on different maps too, though, haven't we? We haven't sort of had the variety of trees.
True. Yeah, I think this is definitely
things up a little bit.
A player favourite, this map, because of the new trees and some of the new physics elements too.
So Jimmy's going about his business up the top here. Scoot down and have a look. Again, Coelho's doing the same, is it? A little bit selective with what he's harvesting.
Yeah. I think we'll see the scores for each round. Hamish just asking if you want the final. I'd like to see them after the first round, I think, wouldn't you, Args? So
yeah.
So the players know what they've got to do in the second round.
Yeah, they'll have a fair idea from seeing the value anyhow.
Exactly.
But, I think it'd be like knowing the score at half time.
That's right. Yeah. Give me some 3 logs down. He's doing the same. Selecting those logs. Coelho being a little less selective here, but I think that's more a case of going for what he's got around him, because he didn't go so far with the issues he's got with that Hannibal not being the fastest machine in the world. He's
that's very true.
He's decided to stick close.
And it's been a proven tactic for him across the season so far. So
it has indeed. And again, he's been really, really careful with making sure that this log pile that he creates is as neat as possible, which really helps him later on.
Whereas Jimmy Sims has got 3 loads of logs all scattered across already. Of course, the grapple doesn't take quite as much as the high lift, so but they are very neat. Got to give him credit for that. His stacks of logs are sitting there quite neat, and if you can pick them up in one go, you have a good amount of logs on very quickly.
The kegs, on the other hand, is a little bit more abandoned. He's basically dropping them where they get cut. Now he might have a plan here, but it's certainly not as neat and tidy as his rows were in the first semi-final. So
right.
Let's see if that comes back to haunt him later on.
Closing in on the halfway mark, just under 4.5 minutes through. These guys are just going about their job of collecting logs. Now, they don't have too far to go for the sell point. They are just up the road, so 5 minutes of cutting, 3.5 minutes of loading, 1.5 minutes to get there maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. Interesting.
Jimmy's got a good amount of logs.
He does, doesn't he? If I was Jimmy, I would be moving. I think he's definitely... Does he risk going for another one as we just roll up to 5 minutes to go? No. Looks like he's heading out. He's got a bit of a trek over to his truck and then to bring his wheel loader over, so going to be a lot of wasted time going backwards and forwards by being so far away. But Egg's already gone for his wheel loader as well, Args. He's just pulling away now.
Here we go, the 5-minute warning from Hamish. Jimmy's gone for his truck. Now, Keggs, that time he took at the start might have taken him a while to get his first tree cut down, but he's going to be the first one actually loading because he has his truck over there already.
That's right. Well, they're still cutting trees down. He does have the high lift, I think, so he will be able to pick up more logs in one go. And maybe he's kind of playing that game as well. But only 4 minutes left, Args.
Keggs has come up and grabbed his first logs. Jimmy Sims has actually taken the time to reverse his truck into a position. He's not nosed it in or anything. He's trying to get it facing the correct way to get out quickly. But this is valuable time because they don't reverse that fast. There we go. He's out and heading down to grab his wheel loader. But what are we coming down to? Just over under 4 minutes remaining. Still plenty of time to get a decent amount of logs loaded at least.
Now, Keggs actually had to drive round his trailer and go in from the other side because the first logs he picked up weren't the ones right next to the trailer. Although he's dropped those on very nicely. So he's our first person to have anything on his trailer loaded. So you're right, Args. Maybe that initial time to get that trailer into position may come back to help him now.
Coelho's getting himself in position with his truck. Parked right next to a stack of logs, and like you said, he's got a very neat stack of logs, pretty much everything in one spot. And using that high lift, he should be able to get them up very quickly. But just taking over 3 minutes to go, so getting down to the crunch point here of the first match. Like I've said a few times, this is a 2-legged final, so we'll be halfway through. This one's done, and then we'll be seeing who has the advantage. We head into the second match.
Jimmy's taken his time to gather up a couple of his loads into one spot. He's just dropped a log there, but he's gathering things together before he's doing his first load into the trailer. So I think he's hoping he can claw back some time, although that's kind of collapsed all over the place. It's not a neat load. That's going to be hard to load into the trailer, this.
Now I'm going to have to give Coelho bonus points because he has his beacons on, so Hamish, I think that's an extra $1,000. Coelho's reward health and safety around the simulator.
Okay, now Jimmy's actually got all of those logs on. It's not pretty, but it's also worked for him, so... Likewise,
Coelho's managed to pick up every single log he had on the ground in one go. Got them all in that high lift, and he has dropped all of them pretty much perfectly in that trailer. He's just had one he's adjusted, and he's done that with perfection and finesse. And he's technically fully loaded at the moment with 1.5 minutes left.
He's got another pile.
Oh no, he's got another stack. I'd completely missed that one. Yeah. Wow, he's gonna, if he can get this one loaded up and off without too many penalties, he's gonna be in a very, very good position. Heading in, Kigarino's loads up very nice and tight over here.
Yeah, this is actually all coming together with a minute left. This is all coming together, and it's gonna be
Jimmy's
close.
in the truck.
Jimmy
Yeah,
politely.
Jimmy's heading out, so.
Oh, he's decided to go early.
Yeah, he has. Train's there. The train is going to slow him down just a minute. He's going to have to pause there and hold.
Not for long, though.
Across the tracks.
Oh. Sneaking over there. Now, interesting, I think Keg's lined himself up here to just hammer straight out onto the road here, so even though Jimmy's...
fire himself out that way.
Oh, it's going to be close, though. I can't tell which one of those got the most logs on.
Oh.
Keg's a neater. Jimmy could have more on his...
I've lost Coelho for a second. Following Kigarino out too.
Oh, look behind me there.
Yeah,
Coelho is right behind. Now, they're not going to get here in time, I don't think.
No, I think we're going to see some penalties coming through here, but let's just wait and see how much it ends up being. 10 seconds remaining. Jimmy's going to be very close, but I still don't think he's going to make it either.
I think these loads are relatively close, Args. Oh, Jimmy's rolled!
Very similar.
Has he rolled? Did he save it? He just saved it.
He saved it. Cost him a few seconds, but a few seconds is better than being stuck on the side.
It is, indeed. But here comes Kegs. Actually,
It's
Coelho's load is huge.
Coelho's stopping the clock at 23 seconds, so... You're right, it's a big load, but he doesn't have quite so many of those ponderosa trees that the Pinnacle guys have targeted.
That's right. That's right. This is going to be close, I think. And we'll find out what's happening from a scores perspective at this point, and it will really open it up, because I'm sure the guys listen to the stream, so they will know when we know what they've got to do in the next round.
And they'll also see it when they sell. They'll be seeing what each person's value has been as they sell.
That's
too.
right. That's right.
Tiger's real scooter. When I'm following 3 trucks full of logs, it does seem to struggle just a little bit with keeping up with it.
Right.
Right. Wait and see. Hamish has to say. After our first match, we are going to head on up and get ready for the next one, because let's keep things moving. Let's keep the pressure on these guys. No rest. Get those scores through. Every time I fly over this map and approach it from different angles, it's just such a good looking map.
It is, isn't it? It is. And we know some of the things they tested on this map will come through to 2025, so the flowing water and the little streams and things like that, I'm sure we'll see in 25 as well, so that's great.
Absolutely. Let's just hope we see it released for modders to make use of too.
Yes. Right, we're just rounding ourselves up at location 2 here. Hamish has not started typing in the chat. Oh, he has now. So,
yes, yeah.
Here we go. Argsy, your mic's gone again. Oh my... So...
I had to fix my mic for this one, wow.
So. This could not be closer. In third place...
Could not script this.
In third place is Kegarino with $24,075. Second place, Jimmy Sim, $25,080. And winning at the moment, but by the smallest of margins, is Coelho on $25,572. We've got a $1,500 discrepancy between first and third, so we might as well not have had that round, and we'll start again now.
No.
Everything's still playable. Any one of these 3 could still win this.
Yep. Interestingly, Coelho, he had $28,000, but he took a bigger penalty. But yeah, the difference between them is minuscule.
It is minuscule.
Minuscule differences between them. That's amazing. What a match so far.
So you remove the penalties. You're right, Args. You remove the penalties. Coelho had the most logs. But
But he was still only 2,000 more than Kigarino.
Yes,
so
it is so tight.
The least amount of logs.
Yeah, it is so tight. Now, interestingly, Args, Keg's already played this this area, so he knows
he has
what stuff's happening here. Is that going to go in his favour?
Semi-final, possibly. Even just knowing the route to get from here to the sell point, where he can turn, what to do, those kind of things. Just once doing it could be enough to give him a little bit of a head start.
That's right.
Okay, right. We're under starters orders. I never expected when we set up this format of having a double header that we would be starting the second match with no clear favourite.
No idea who's going to win this, which is fantastic. This is the way we wanted it, right?
Awesome. Absolutely.
Right. Good luck.
Starters orders. See them running off.
5 months of effort. All comes down to this next 10 minutes for these three. May the best man win.
They're off. All heading straight to their tree harvesters. They're going to go and claim a piece of land somewhere. Get things cut down. Jimmy forgot what he was driving. He ended up all over the place. Kigarino, let's just watch and see. Like you said, he's played this before, and he does look like he's heading straight down the hill.
He knows where he's going. As expected, Coelho's going to stay close, I think. Yes, he's going to get to the closest trees.
No. He's proven us wrong. If his Kigarino stayed up high, he's not moved.
Oh, look, so he has. I wonder if he's going to... Is he just going to grab that one tree and then move somewhere else?
Who knows? But that's an interesting tactic by him. That he's not, using that advantage and knowledge he had, which took him into the final. Surprised.
Coelho getting stuck in here. Now, interesting, Coelho. Probably the only person I've seen tonight ditching the tips of the trees, the top end of the trees. So he's still maximising his log lengths, even though he's not necessarily picking the ponderosa trees.
That's right. It's interesting though, because there's no penalty for selling those. You just get less for them. That's
right. Yeah. But it's a tactic for him, and it seems to be working because he's been there or thereabouts the whole season.
That's right. Yeah, no, definitely is. Right, Kigarino struggled with his first tree, but he got that cut down and pulled out. Look, I must say I'm a little bit surprised he hasn't replayed what he did in the first round to get himself into the final.
Yeah. Could that be a decision that will stop things? Oh, rolling down the hill here as well, Args.
Yeah, I'm just watching that. They're going to roll down and stack up nicely for him somewhere.
Yeah. So with all this excitement,
he's a little bit worried about them. They have stopped.
Jimmy Simmers over here. He is pulling all of his stuff out into the open. So while he's not had as many trees down as maybe Coelho here, I'm going to try and get them into a nice orderly pile. He needs to be careful here. He's on the road though. He doesn't want to be blocking the guys when they come with their trailers later on. We shall see how he gets on.
Coelho is being a little bit selective with his trees and going for these high value ones. I love the way this Hannibal's self-leveling. So he drives up a slope. He doesn't have to worry about being on the side of it because that thing just sets itself at the nice horizontal and can cut down, drag out, and get back down into position to be able to dump that on the loading platform. Very handy.
Where's Keg gone now, Uggs? Has he gone down the hill now? Or is he still high?
I've lost track of him.
Totally lost him. Yes, he's down the hill. He's gone back to his
down the hill.
Usual hunting ground.
Right, so perhaps he'll pick that one up on the way past with the wheel loader.
I think he's absolutely targeting very specific trees here.
Which was easy to do when you were in the team situation because you just had to cut and the loader was following along and you're not losing that downtime of having to drive between locations. Not a bit of a disadvantage to do it here, but Jimmy's doing exactly the same. He's got a stack on the road, but now he's driving quite some distance to go and find his next ones.
Yep.
Which is downtime between driving your truck, wheel loader, everything like that. So just wait and see.
Yeah, tactically it's clever. It's a clever move, right? Just try. If you can have everything in one place, you just don't have to worry about driving around so much. So it's interesting whether Keg will just pick these 2 logs up here and then drive them down. Whether or not he'll move his truck twice or not, we shall see.
Coelho's getting a very, very neat load of logs sitting up the top here that he's going to do a great job picking up. He's sort of setting himself up well. He's got a nice level platform. He can just drive his truck in. It's just there.
And remember, Args, he picked that entire load up in one go last time, didn't he? So
yeah.
Although it doesn't have the choice of trees that the others have.
No, but I think it's going to come down to who makes the least mistakes.
Yeah.
At this stage. Kigarino he's got logs on the road. He's halfway to the sell point just about. He's cutting down trees.
I can hear a wheel loader, and it's Jimmy Sim. He's decided.
Right.
He decided to move, probably to tidy up this road a little bit. Now, we've seen with Jimmy, he does a thing of where he'll collect a couple of logs, and then he'll go and collect another couple and start to build up how much he's got within his grapple, rather than trying to load 2 at once. It'll be interesting to see.
They actually sit more stable in the grapple if you can get it nice.
Exactly that. I think that's the thinking behind it, right? Well, he has got that caught on his harvester, which isn't helping. There we go. Pinged off now.
Kigarino's back up, and he's come to grab his front loader as well. He's going for his truck first, actually. Meanwhile, Coelho hasn't had to move anywhere. He's still just cutting down trees. We had a GPS tracker on him. He would have done the least amount of distance, that's for sure.
That's right. And he knows as well he's got the high lift, so he can pick up a lot more in one go than the others. Although, I think when we get to this circumstance, the guys are pretty good at loading as well, so let's see.
Yep. Indeed. We're down to 4 minutes remaining, so we're in the very last throes of our solo finals for Logging League Season 2, match number 2. And you're only just tuning in, match 1 could not have been closer between these 3 players, and it's everything to play for. Any one of these 3 could walk away our champion in just a few minutes.
And it must be horrible knowing that it's this close, right? And you are, every single thing that you do could have an impact on you kind of getting to the top of the tree when it comes, if you excuse the pun, in the second round.
Yeah. That's right. Coelho's right, he's finished that tree. He is going to go and start loading now. And in the time it's taking Kigarino to get his truck and loader, Coelho's cut down at least 1 more tree, if not 2, which is going to just be more wood on the ground for him. Like you said before, he does have the high lift and he can pick up a lot of logs in one go, but at the same time, Jimmy's got logs on the back of his truck, which is his advantage at the moment.
He is, and he is loading. He's doing a good job with this loading, and he's got neat piles to pick up from as well, Args. So this is going to be slick. This next one is going to be slick. Just missed his first log there, but he's come back for it.
He was the closest to Coelho. There's only $700 between the 2 of them.
Yeah. Now remember, the scores from this round will be added to the scores from the first round. So,
Coelho's just picked up almost half his logs in one go. Can then put on the back of the trailer.
Jimmy's got everything. Jimmy's just picked up everything that he has harvested in one go here.
Wow.
So if he gets this on, he'll be away, and with 2 minutes left, he is probably likely to not get a penalty. And look at that, straight in.
He's done.
That last one drops. Yeah.
Now's the question, do you gamble? Because Coelho's not too far away from being full too. He'll get this load. Is he going to get them all in one go? He has. Coelho's managed to pick up all of his logs in 2 grabs.
Jimmy's
driving.
There wasn't enough time to get any more logs, I think. So, yeah.
That puts the pressure visually on Coelho. Coelho can see him leaving. Remember, the guys are only getting the updates on time from the chat.
They can't see the timer, you're right.
No, Coelho's loaded. He is into his truck. It's very high loaded, so there is a risk if he goes too fast around a corner. This is going to topple. He needs to be very careful, but he has time to take a little bit more care as he drives down. But oh, that's looking ridiculously top heavy. But that is a huge load of logs.
I'm going to call it here. I think Coelho's going to run out of time, Args. There's just a minute left. He's gonna be very close to the wire, I think, when it comes to crossing the line. Jimmy's going to take a little bit of a detour here across the train. He's just stopped there to check to see if the train was coming before he went. Saw it wasn't anywhere close and he's hitting it diagonally across the field here.
Down to 1 minute remaining. I think, sad to say, but I think this is a 2-horse race now between Coelho and Jimmy Sims. It's going to be between the two of them. Kigarino just hasn't managed to get the logs loaded. I think his decision to spread out and load from different areas and cut down from different areas might just count against him. But we're down to 20 seconds remaining. Jimmy's going to make it across by the looks of things, FSG.
He is, with 16 and a half seconds left. He is over. And I'm looking back over here, and I can only just see Coelho appearing. So Coelho's not going to make it in with time to spare. With 5 seconds left, Coelho is going to get a penalty here. So this is going to be tight, Args. This is going to be super tight.
Coelho's dodged the train by mere seconds. The barriers, are they going to go down? The barriers are just going down, and he made it across the crossing.
So Coelho's going to be...
but
20, 25 seconds.
20
There
seconds.
he is. Oh, and it's so tight on that turn. 21 seconds over. So Coelho was in prime position, but has got a penalty here. Jimmy doesn't.
Look at his load, though.
That is a high load. That is a lot of logs.
It
That
is.
is a lot of logs. I think he might have just snuck this.
Yeah, I'm getting on load size. Jimmy, though, what a match. He played that.
Oh, phenomenal play. Phenomenal play.
Not have time to do any better.
He couldn't have done any more, to be honest.
Oh, no. Across both matches. And none of them could have done anything else, really. They could have done any more.
I do think it's there is a slight element of, you know, one of those logs didn't go into the trailer, or it could have changed the face of it straight away. But I think they played a blinder, both of them. So let's add these up, and let's see who comes out on top.
Fine. Kigarino heading down still. He'll make it just in time, but he's going to incur pretty much the maximum penalty, I would suggest. He's got a good load of logs on, though. He's done well. But I think I'm going to put his initial decision to cut that one tree up the top, counted against him. If he'd played the game like he did in the first match in the semi-final, it would have been a completely different story, I think. We're not going to dwell on it. We're not going to worry about that.
But a valiant effort.
Fantastic. Oh, absolutely.
Valiant effort from Keg.
Yeah. Right. Here we go. We're finished. That is the finals for the teams are over. We're just waiting for results to come in, but one of these 3 people will be crowned Season 2 Logging League Solos Champion. We'll just wait to see what that's going to be.
Now, could it be... I mean, Jimmy had all Pondies as well. Coelho's got a mixture here. Some of them are worth more than others. So even if he's got more on...
With his truck.
Yeah. This is going to be interesting. I cannot call this one, Args. Even Keg's trailer load. That is a substantial amount of logs.
He's just going to incur a close to $12,000 penalty, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, let's see.
Right. The moment of truth.
Now I don't know whether we're going to get a combined total or a match total for that round and then a combined total. I suppose at the end of the day, if Coelho beats Jimmy head-to-head in that match, then we'll know we'll have our winner.
Yeah.
Let's look.
We are just waiting.
Match. Congratulations to all 3 of those guys. Just on making the finals, there was some...
Fantastic.
Out of 9 competitors, they were the 3 that shone through at the end, and all deserved the right to be here.
Yeah, fantastic. Really, really impressive. And if those of you who are watching this and haven't played logging, trust me when I say what you've just seen there is really hard to do. Of that standard and that level, 2 games in a row, that is properly talented.
It is. Right, I can see Hamish typing in chat. We will wait and see what he comes through with. silence.
I know, the anticipation is killing us. Logging is hard. Scott, you summed it up perfectly. Summed it up perfectly.
Even when you're not doing with the clock stopwatch on you.
Yeah.
A long message.
It is.
I'm just cut and pasting the scores. We're having to fully assess this. Now, I appreciate Matsy. He dropped out halfway through that match and did not try and rejoin. That was much appreciated. Avoided the sink mid-game.
Yep.
Right.
Good job, Bart. Oh.
Come on, Hamish, type faster.
The anticipation. The anticipation.
He's had the message ready to hit enter on for the last 30 seconds. He's just like, nah, I'm going to leave you guys hanging for a little bit longer.
He's just hitting the spacebar a few times, yeah.
He is, yeah. Find the right emoji to put in.
Here we go. It's important, this one. He needs to make sure it's right. So I know he will be being very diligent with it.
100%.
Either that or it's a draw.
Could you imagine? I was going to say after the last one, those separations in value we had, that was like, first to third on the Formula One grid at the moment.
Okay. Combined totals in Logging League Season 2 solo champion for 2024. Args, would you like to do the honours?
I will. In third place, Kigaruno with $45,000. A valiant effort and not too far behind our two winners. Coming through, though, it was a close run battle between Jimmy Sims and Coelho to come out as our champion for Season 2. But winning with a combined total of $56,000. So $26,000 on top of the 30 in the first match is Coelho. So congratulations, Coelho. Jimmy Sims finished with just shy of $50,000. So in the end of it, it was the logs that Coelho had loaded in that last run, even with the penalty. He must have cleaned up by about $5,000 or $6,000 because there wasn't much between them at the start. So congratulations, Coelho. Champion for Season 2 of Logging League. Second, Jimmy Sims, and third, Kigarino.
And I'm impressed, actually, with Keg with nearly a 2-minute deficit, Args, has only finished, I don't know, what's that? $5,000 behind Jimmy Sims. So he must have had a serious load in that second round.
Keg's had he was only $800 short of Coelho. So Coelho had 33 grand and Keg's had 32 grand.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And Jimmy was only at 25. So, it just came down to how many logs they got loaded in the end.
Impressive stuff. Well done, everyone. Congratulations to Coelho. Well deserved. He has been utterly consistent throughout the whole season, hasn't he? So, I think a worthy champion.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
100%.
Nice one. That was awesome. That's and if you look across the two matches, Coelho first, Jimmy Sims second, and Kigarino third in both matches. So the way they finish the matches is the way they stack up in the championship.
Yes, indeed. Congratulations.
Very awesome.
Very awesome indeed.
All right. We can't dwell on that for too long though, because we have a teams champion to crown.
We do indeed. Let's jump in and find where we're going next, which I do believe is right here. Our Team Esports versus Calamaris. It is an FSL off. Both of these are professional esports teams playing in the Farm Sim League, and we are very grateful that they have joined us for Logging League as well. Args, your mic's gone again.
I'm not talking. I hadn't said a thing. Is it really gone? Oh, it is cracking. El Pedo's saying so. Goodness, how frustrating. And we're underway. Look at that.
Straight out of the box.
I better get back onto the screen so you can see the match. But we are up and moving. So Matsy into one processor, Valo into the other. Got Calamaris loading for Astragon and Oblix in the tally handler from our Team Esports. course, the other 2 team members will be down collecting their trucks from the sawmill and making their way up here soon. Now, interestingly, both teams have gone to the same side of the road.
They have. We're just getting into position here. Getting things lined up. Both cutting their first tree very quickly. And what's Bauer going to do? He's going to drop that onto the road here, but I think there's plenty of space here, like you've said, Args, so not concerned about them blocking anything.
No.
And they're going for the short logs again.
Yes. Now, of course, both these teams have been using the truck and trailer units, so
yeah,
what different publics there using that tree to be able to get those logs into the grab. Doing a good job about it too.
Second tree out for the Astragon guys as well here.
See if I know where the trucks are coming from. A little bit of a different route for the trucks to arrive by. See them on the map. They're coming from behind me.
Okay.
Go racing across the timber bridge. Noricam just in front of Major Melons, not too much difference between them, but this is going to be interesting for their delivery route. They are heading down to Cell Point B, if I'm correct, which was the one we were just at for the solo match. See the 2 teams running across the top.
Valo's just pulled a couple of trees out, but he managed to run over them, so they've become a little bit less organised than they were before.
Alright, don't get run over by Noricam, who's just pulled in for Power Team Esports. And Major Melon is not far behind there for Strigon, so straight into loading, and already Obelix dropped the first load of logs on for Power Team Esports. Calamaris has got high lift, some logs in the grapple, and spin around and get that trailer base straight up.
Again, Obelix using this tree as a buttress for the logs, making it very easy to load those up in a nice neat pile.
Now, interestingly, just observing here, Astragon not being picky with the trees that they're using, but Matzy has just changed the log length. He's cutting a longer log. I wonder if that's because they will be able to put longer ones on the trailer.
Yeah, possible. Yeah, I think they've made the decision there, Args, because there just isn't that much of a choice. Although at the other side of the road there is a nice little clump of them, but I think by the time that Bauer had spun around and got himself into position, it would have probably taken longer than was worth it to spin around again and go the other way.
Now, part of what they did there actually with the stack for Astragon is Calamaris pushed some logs up against the truck, and now Major Melon's actually loading those with the truck. We saw them try to do that in the semi-final,
yes,
but they actually got them in a better position. So Calamaris is loading the rear trailer. Major Melon's trying to get that front one loaded up. Good grab of logs there, get that positioned in the right spot. Dumped in, no. Good start for them.
Right.
Whereas Calamaris has had a little bit of a shocker at the back with the high lift, unfortunately.
Meanwhile, just
Those
behind
go
them,
there,
Power
Major
Team
Melon
Esports doing some nice work with their loader.
Right, Major Melon getting those logs dropped in. So we can see Calamaris is going to be able to pick up a few there.
Oh, that's a load. It's interesting, they're picking their way through the trees here. Valo's picking his way through the trees here, which is making it not particularly easy for Obelix, when there's some really good trees on the other side. I'm interested to see. There's obviously method there. They've obviously thought about this, and not just rocked up. Oh, Astragon cutting logs to different lengths depending on the thickness of the tree. Interesting. Seen that done before.
I think it's to do with where they're loading them on the truck. The shorter logs are going on the front and the longer logs are going on the back track as well. So we're just coming up on the 5-minute mark, halfway through the first match of 2 here in our Season 2 Teams Championship matches. Team Astragon against Team Power Team Esports.
Now there are a couple of logs hanging off the back of the trailer. They are going to be difficult. If they don't fix those Args, they're going to be hard with that trailer, especially when they're going to try and turn corners with it. They probably need to fix that, and I think probably Major Melon's going down to do that as we speak.
Just watching him there on the crane.
It's not the easiest thing to handle, that crane, does it?
No, it doesn't. No. And he doesn't actually have any health and safety gear on the back. He's sort of on the seat between the two trailers. No hard hat, no helmet, no high vis.
What does this mean?
He does have a very nice man bun. He does have a very nice man bun, though. I'm impressed with that.
That's almost like a helmet anyway, isn't it? It's like almost like protective gear, a man bun.
would make it hard to wear a helmet, so I'll slide in as a kid.
Look at this. I mean, the guys over here with Power Team Esports, Noricam is just driving into the woods, try and stop Obelix having to go any further than he needs to. He's actually helping move logs into place.
Yeah, I was wondering if he was trying to be a backstop for it, so they can push up against the truck.
I think there's a bit of that going on. Not the neatest, not compared to their last load. It's not as neat, but it's proving to be effective at the moment.
Yeah, I think you're quite right there. I think these guys have all competed at the highest level of FSL and the stress that comes with that, so that won't be getting to them, but certainly not the easiest thing for us to do at the moment. 3 minutes to go in the match. The team's starting to think about heading off to the sell point very soon. It's probably about a 2-minute drive from here, I would have thought.
Really tactical here, Args. Valo cut those trees and left enough stumps sticking out to use them as a butt for the telehandler to run up to with the extra logs. So they have a lot of logs on the ground. If they can get all of these in, they will be in a pretty good position. But the load-wise, there's not much in this, Args.
Unfortunately. No, but Calamaris, unfortunately, has just dropped a whole tree off the side of the trailer. By not having those logs sitting down in the bunk properly, it just made it hard, and he's now going to go and adjust it. Probably just needed to lift it up and then get Major Melon to drive forward just a touch.
Major Melon driving forward to drop them back onto the ground for him to pick them up again would be the most sensible thing there, wouldn't it?
But
no, even Power Team Esports have got an ugly load here, but I think they're away. Yeah, Noricam is away, and they're going a different route, Args. They're going up the hill here.
Major Melon looks like he's folding the crane on the back of the truck as well, and he's also away, and like you said, those logs could prove problematic, but might be worth the value of keeping. But we are seeing a different route being taken by both teams.
Jack Field, thanks for the shout out, mate. I appreciate it. Oh, Noricam driving very carefully around the corners here. Just making sure he doesn't get stuck. I think Obelix is following him to make sure if he has any issues, if he turns or tips or flips, that he can help him. And they're going through the water, Args. They are going Route 1 through the water here.
Wow.
And they're going to use the...
try and take that all the way.
They're going to use the train track as well. We've got a minute left.
Major Melon is just heading past the solo arena that we used previously.
They've wedged themselves, Args. Power Team Esports have wedged themselves. They had one of the trees hanging over the side of the trailer, and it got caught around a tree. Now they are taking a risk here. They are taking a risk here. There is no train coming at the moment. Bauer's actually on train watch further down the track. Just making sure
Major
because
Melon's having to root his way down the middle of the bridge to not catch at the edge with any logs.
Right,
13 seconds remaining. Neither of the teams are going to get across the finish line in the allotted time.
They are not, but Noricam is out in the open here. He's straight lining it now, Args. He's only going to be a couple of seconds over, I think.
Major Melon is taking the turn. No sign of the trains. The barriers and I think not going to be an issue.
So over 11 seconds over the time. Power Team Esports there, but that was a pretty good run for them, to be honest. If they hadn't got caught on that tree, they would have been over with time to spare.
Those fine margins, isn't it? Easy to have something like that happen and just get caught out at the last minute. Major Melon just getting towards the final.
Ooh, I saw that.
Oh, that was close.
So Major Melon over 42 seconds down.
And destroying the finish line at the same time.
So, interesting, because I actually think, just scanning the two loads here, I think Astrogun might have ever so slightly more logs on.
It was a lot closer than I thought, actually. Yeah. It's like Astrogun are trying to get extra money out of some slots.
Astrogun to sell a bale too.
Oblix won't let that happen. He's in there. He said, "Not on my watch."
Yeah. That could be quite expensive. That a nice square bale of silage is worth some good money, isn't it?
Look, he's tidying up the mess. Trailer sold for Astrogun. Major Melon will back up and they'll get the truck sold as well. There we go. Match number 1 over and done.
Right, let's wait and see what we have got here. This is going to be tight again, Args. I think we're set up for a really interesting second round again here.
I think so too. I 100% agree with you on that. Make my way up to the top of the map, find the final arena. Fitting that it might be on the super chaos zone of the map.
Yes, indeed. Nothing like leaving the best till last. So we'll just wait for those numbers to come in. Hamish already typing in the chat, so that is looking positive. Teams are already up here waiting. So let's jump back to the main screen.
Oh, the anticipation. Oh, crikey.
Wow. Was not expecting that.
That's the value of the wood.
So that is the difference between taking the Ponderosas.
Better tell the viewers what the scores are.
So
it's just a wowing and arming.
Astrogun, second place. Obviously with a 42-second penalty, but they crossed the line and they had, after the penalty, $17,975 of wood on board. Power Team Esports, though, coming over the line with just that 12-second deficit, but managing to sell $35,739 of wood. So they have a commanding lead going into round 2. But as we showed there, one mistake, if Power Team Esports get wedged on a tree or get hit by the train, if they made some bold moves there, if it doesn't go the way they want it to, this could turn on its head very quickly. So I still think there's all to play for here.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. No, Astrogun aren't out of it. They're in a tough position and they're in a bit of a deep hole, but it is a game of two halves, and we're into the second half, and they can come back here.
They can indeed.
So just waiting for the start. 3, 2, 1. We'll get the go in a second.
Go. Right. This is it. The final round. The final game of Logging League 2024.
It is, yeah. Kind of glossed over that little fact that it is the very last match for Season 2.
Fitting that it's two FSL teams. And, yeah, this has been
during the day that the FSL called them Logging League teams.
Yes. I'm going to have a word with Hamish before FarmCon to make sure he does some name dropping when he's commentating.
Virtual Farmer, you mean?
No, who did I say? I meant Kermit. Kermit's doing Kermit's doing Friday, I think.
Oh, is he doing it? Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Right.
Right. Well,
Here's
we're
to
into
Logging
Power Team
League
Esports
2025.
RB.
We'll have to see what the new game
see.
brings. Maybe we'll have a ploughing match in
very
2025.
Field flooding match. Maybe just straight out dirt bike races.
Yeah, just dirt bike races. That sounds good. So Bauer, fast
Right.
out of the gates here. 2 very neat loads done already there. Over here though, Obelix and Valo, some very neat log piles there as well. They looks like they've got 2 trees down already. And actually Valo stopped there and was waiting to go before he went for his next log, so Obelix could use him as a buffer.
There's been some excellent teamwork from him in that regard.
Yeah.
Noricam here already, actually. I haven't seen Major Malin pull in yet.
Here he comes as you
He's coming
speak,
up the hill
guys.
now. But I think Power Team Esports have adjusted the quickest to the tree types.
Yes.
They're being selective. Whereas we're not seeing that from Astragon. Astragon are just taking what they take.
Yeah. Obelix right on the limit of the weight of the telehandler there again, Args, as you saw before. But getting away with it.
Alright. Let's see how Astragon are going. Tall order for them to come back from this one, but sure, if anyone can do it, they can, and they will give it every chance they can. Calamaris has got his first load going into the front of the truck there.
Yeah, there's a serious volume of logs being cut down and loaded very, very quickly by these guys. We're only 3 minutes in, and we've got some serious amounts of wood on the ground and on the trailers.
You know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see Modern Logging with his loading abilities sitting on the back of that truck and having a go at it. I mean, Major Melon's doing a valiant effort, but we do know Modern Logging is one of the finest loaders using a grapple like that, so it'd be interesting to see what he could do.
Yeah.
Had him in the team.
Hamish has just confirmed in the chat there that it is the gas station sell point, so the one through the town and not the one down by the roller coaster. So with that in mind, they do have quite a long way to drive, don't they?
They do. There's a reasonably good route across
Straight
the map.
route, yeah.
Across the map. Come out at the bottom by the train tracks and it's exactly opposite there, so not altogether difficult, but I'm just seeing Matsy's just actually waiting there. They're losing time here cutting down trees while Calamaris is busy trying to get these picked up, so
That's right.
a little bit of teamwork, a little bit of patience being shown there by Matsy, but
It's hard. There's not a
unfortunately,
lot of space here, is there? You are kind of
No.
on top of each other, aren't you?
yeah.
Just
That's the one thing
nature
I've
of this
sort of
area.
talked about it. The last match, how sort of untidy the loads were. I don't know whether it's like we saw some really incredibly tidy loads from the solos, but I think just the rate that trees are getting cut down.
Yep.
You want to try and keep up with your tree cutter, so you're actually sort of just rushing a little bit more on
That's
the loading
right.
side of things.
That's right, yeah. And again, both of them had issues with logs overhanging their trailers. Was a Major Melon hit the lamppost just as he was coming into the finish point, and Noricam was stuck on the train tracks for a while, actually. And Obelix had to push him back off. So, yeah, they need to be mindful of that, because it could be the difference between winning or losing if they get really stuck. They could have a problem.
We're seeing again how Team Esports are being so selective with their logs. Bellows driving up through the forest, Noricam's halfway up the hill. They are definitely being selective.
And they are very neat with their load this time as well, Args.
It does look good. Right, Major Melon has had a major explosion. This is not looking good for them.
Oh, no.
I'm not sure what happened there. I missed catching that, but that's a little unfortunate.
The truck is in a completely different position as well. Has that rolled down the hill or something?
I don't know. I don't know if Hamish or Mark caught what happened there, but Everything's going wrong for Astragon. It could go wrong, it seems to be. I do wonder if you're correct, FSG, because there's like a log hanging all the way out the far side here. A couple of logs on the far side. So.
And even there, Calamaris dropping those on, it's a bit haphazard, isn't it?
Hmm.
It's a bit haphazard. So, yeah, they're going to have to make some decisions here about what they do. Does Calamaris try and tidy this up a little bit? There's not that many logs left up the hill, so... Hey, Mark.
It just jumped down the hill.
The whole truck just bounced down the hill, did it?
Yep. Logs everywhere.
And they weren't strapped down, so they just went flying. Oh dear, that's unfortunate. And we've not had any real issues with physics in general. Little bits and pieces, but nothing... nothing excessive. So that's really unfortunate that happened in the final.
I don't think... jumping the gun a little bit, but just looking at the way Power Team Esports are playing at the moment and the load of logs they've got up here, and that with still 3 minutes remaining, I don't think there's anything Astragon could have done, though, to
I think you're right.
Have changed the outcome of this match.
Yeah, with the lead they've already got as well, I think it's...
yeah.
It will be frustrating for them, but equally I think they'll be...
100%.
I'm sure they'll be pragmatic and accept that, yes, potentially... The ship had already sailed. Here comes Calamaris with one large load, though, to finish things off. And actually, other than it being a little bit messy, they haven't lost any logs, to be honest. It's a pretty... messy load, but yeah, everything that was on the trailer before is still on, so... they're just trying to get a couple of things unstuck there so they can move about a bit better.
Alright. We're down to 2 minutes to go, I think. I'm just going to take a guess here. I reckon Oblix has just put the last load on for Noricam. Yes, he has. Off. Oblix again is following along, but they don't have any of those issues with logs hanging off the side or anything like that. And to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think they could have fitted too much more on that truck anyhow, so it's probably time to go regardless.
Yeah. Now, the guys are having a problem here because they've got logs strapped down and there's logs all over the place. The truck isn't moving particularly easily here either, so they're really having a few issues getting out of the space, to be honest. It really is. The wheels have unfortunately come off here a bit for Astragon. Calamaris decided to drop that extra load of logs that he had. He didn't think there was time to load them up. But I think they're going to struggle here. I think there's one log particularly at the back of the trailer that is getting wedged between the two, and it's going to have to come out. They're going to have to unstrap these and remove that single log, or they're
about the only thing that could have saved them would be Noricam rolling the truck, and he got pretty close. He has kept it on all four wheels, or all four corners. 32 or 36, or however many wheels there are on this beast. He's heading down the hill towards the train crossing. Plenty of time, 30 seconds he should have without any penalties. But yeah, I think the only way that we could have seen Astragon stealing victory from the jaws of defeat was through an error on our Team Esports' part, and they have been flawless, really.
And they're still struggling here. They've got a log wedge between the two trailers, and it's stopping the... It's lifted the second trailer up. I think they may have done enough to sort it now, but it's not going to be easy for them to get out of here.
Yeah. Oh. Messi's already down at the finish, so he's almost conceded defeat. He's done his part, he has. But Power Team Esports got across the line. Plenty of time remaining. That's actually the clock stopped at 2 seconds. I don't know whether that was stopped early, considering that Astragon is still out on the course, but...
Yes, now Major Malone and Calamaris are both... They've stopped. Major Malone's been out of the truck for about 15-20 seconds now. He's only just running back now. I'm not sure what he did there. They're still not... I wonder if they've just... I think they may have waved the white flag here. I think they've maybe just decided to
concede.
To concede, although Calamaris is starting to load up a load of logs. I don't know what's happening here. Yeah, I think they've conceded.
I think they're just having fun at this stage.
I think they're just playing around now.
Alright. Well, we will wait and see what comes through there in the final, but it was a Estragon retirement. Here we go.
Yeah, they've thrown the towel in.
It was a tough ask after that first match. Power Team Esports were just too far ahead, and it was going to be a pretty tough ask for them to come back from that one.
It was, but there is no shame in coming second in Logging League 2024 in the teams category. That is no mean feat.
Of course, we can't ignore the fact that Power Team Esports have gone through the whole season completely unbeaten.
Completely unbeaten, yes indeed. So
five matches across the first 4 rounds, a semi-final, and then 2 matches in the finals. They are very deserved victors, really.
They are indeed.
I'm intrigued to find out how much money they earned off that last load, though.
Yeah,
I'm sure going to give us that or not, but
sure,
if they can beat their record.
Drop into the chat and let us know, because that did look like a substantial amount of wood they had on their. It's funny. I'm flying back over, and there is a telehandler teetering on the edge of a cliff here, where it's been abandoned.
Abandoned. Wanton destruction of equipment.
Brilliant. Yeah, guys, this is all hired. We've got to take it back as we've collected it. So we're just going to fly back over here. I'm going to head towards the waterfall, I think. There we go. $35,739 of logs there. So very close to their highest score. What was their highest? Args? Did they make it over 40k?
No, that was the first round.
Oh, beg your pardon. I was still waiting. So we will take this opportunity to grab a couple of photos of the guys and make sure that we have things for posterity here. Jimmy Stim, Keg, and where's the man himself?
Coelho actually might have left the game. I can't remember.
Did Coelho leave the game? Coelho, if you're still watching the stream, could you join the server again?
Yeah, he's not on here.
But
so there we go. When you asked if they'd got over 40,000, well, they might have not before that match, but they well and truly got over it in that one.
Oh my goodness!
$44,563, and they finished with 9 seconds to spare. So
their biggest load of the season, and they saved it. They saved it for the finals.
Indeed, it's pretty impressive.
It's pretty impressive.
Right.
Hope you're well and sure.
You are around.
We'll wait. If not, we might have to do some use the magic of Photoshop to
Hamish or someone.
Hamish to stand up. Hey, there he is.
Oh, there he is.
That's Hamish. It's actually Hamish.
He must.
Hamish changed his name. I'll do though. Well, good thinking, Hamish. Right, smile for the camera, folks. We'll grab a little photo here so we can share it for posterity. Congratulations, Keg, Jimmy, and Coelho as well. Excellent, excellent finals from you guys. Really, really good.
Still blown away at that $44,000 that they.
I know, right?
Esports. That's awesome.
I know.
Impressive, yeah.
Thanking you, and if we could have our teams.
He has spelt the name wrong. It's LH and HL.
Again, Photoshop it.
Big H.
Fix it.
Photoshop fix everything.
Thank you, Keg. Thank you, Jimmy.
Except for live broadcast.
Let's have our teams on here as well. We might need to just have our top 2 here for this one. Our Team Esports are champions for 2024.
Now Matt's just trying to get in on the action.
There we go. Wonderful.
Where is our fourth? Who are we missing? Oricom. Oricam.
Just wait for Noricam to come in. Here he is. Here he is. Looking very stealth. Very stealth.
He is. He is.
Right. Can I ask the middle person? So both Noricam and I think it is Calamaris to crouch, please, so I can get all your names in. They're all overlapping at the moment. Oh, that's it. Noricam, just step forward. Take a step forward. Step forward. That's it. Perfect. Perfect. Right. Oh. Right. Noricam is perfect if he steps to the front. And if Calamaris could do the same. Either that or the other step backwards.
Oh, Calamaris is gone. Oh well. It'll be what it'll be.
It'll be what it'll be. Oh, Major Melon's gone too. They're out.
Oh.
We'll just have to fudge something. Yeah.
There's work.
We'll make it work.
Alright. Well.
There we go. There we go. Right. I think we've got a few thank yous to say, haven't we?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, first and foremost, we've got to thank all the teams and competitors, the solos and teams who not only competed today, but have made themselves available over the 4 rounds prior to the finals. Continue to turn up and innovate, come up with new methodologies, new techniques, try out new equipment, and generally just been so supportive of the local league. So much thank you to you.
Yep. Absolutely well said. A massive shout out again to Farmer Hamish and Mark Haythornthwaite that have worked tirelessly in the background. Honestly, the effort that goes to this is
just the glamorous assistant.
Well, you do it. You do it very well.
How about we just say assistant?
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
Let's about the glamorous part.
Let's not big up your role too much, Mark.
I've already told FSG he's looking good today.
But yeah, no, genuinely, without you guys, this wouldn't be possible because you can't be in 2 places at once and doing lots of different stuff. So
100%.
Massive thanks to both of you for everything you do and giving up your time and all of that. Argsy, your mic's gone. And finally, I've got to say a big thank you to Argsy. This is the 2nd year we've done this. I think it's become more than we ever thought it would be. It was a little bit of a fun gig on a live stream one day out of just off the top of our heads, and it's turned into this brilliant little thing that will stay long beyond FS22. So thank you, mate. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, likewise, my friend. You got to take credit for all the graphics and everything. You do all those in the background, which is nice. And yeah, no, it's been fun. It's always a blast. It's a nice way just to chill out on a Sunday morning for me, Saturday evening for you, and do something a little bit different for the community, one for the players, and I guess just to show and demonstrate there's different ways to play Farming Simulator, different things you can do in it to keep it entertaining. And this was just a little way that we had a lot of fun doing, and we're glad we were able to share it with a whole lot of other people. That's right. And I suppose last thank you is to everybody who's watched any of the episodes, 100%. any of the rounds. You've been brilliantly supportive of it, and we appreciate you. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, no, awesome. Thank you all for tuning in. It is what, without you guys watching, just be a couple of guys playing the game on your own. Exactly. So, who knows what the future holds? We've got FS25 coming down the tracks rapidly. We'll have to see where that takes us and see what the future holds, but I definitely think there's potential for something like this again in the future, don't you, Args? Whether it's logging, whether it's something else, we'll have to wait and see, but... No, and we worked really well trying out different maps this year, so we're not always relying on giants to have a map like Silver and Forest. It was fun to venture out into the wider world and take Logging League to different continents and different areas, so that was a lot of fun. But there was some discussion, obviously, last year. We kind of had that one-off Christmas Cup we ran.
That's right.
Late last year, just to trial out the new rules. So I know there's been some discussion about you and I and Hamish having a team and giving it a go. So you never know what you might find.
You never know. There's still 4.5 months till FS25 comes out. It might not be the end for Logging League yet.
No, so we'll see. Anyhow, that's been a good one. What are we at to? 3.25 hours.
That is a long stream.
It is. So I'm going to go and enjoy my Sunday, and I'll catch you later on for Ahali Farms.
Yes, indeed.
And I'll catch a number of you at FarmCon. Less than a week to go.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah, lots going on at the moment. It is a busy old time for the old farm sim, which is great. Which is great. Right. On that note, thank you, Args, again. Thank you, everyone.
Yep. Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll chat to you soon.
Take care. All right.
Take care.
Bye, everyone. See ya.
Bye for now. Bye-bye.